right, so where's your toast at, buddy?
You ready? Okay, here's yours. But first, before the toast, I'm gonna let all you guys know I'm using my life as an example. It doesn't matter how many horrors life throws at you. It's just a flesh. All right, Brandon. May you never lie, steal, cheat, or drink. If you lie, may it be in the arms of your wife. If you steal, may it be her kisses. If you cheat, may it be death. And if you drink, may it be with us, your friends.
I like it. I like it.
All right, Pops is up.
All right.
That's pretty official.
Take your shit and get out of here.
Know you, Brandon.
What up? Busy Bee in the motherfucking house.
What's up, my brother?
Seth Fades. Ride can hardly ADV now.
Yes.
So what's going on, man?
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you.
So I see you coming from business, man. You know what I mean? Like, Busy Bee now, is that the official, like, what it is? Like, is there a Busy Bee, like, groundskeeping? Is that what's the official name? Give me the breakdown
Yeah, it's
of all your businesses, first names and shit, so we can get us all
Busy
right.
Bee Groundskeeper and Floor Care. You know, that's
right.
the commercial janitorial. And then we got the Santa Glaze franchise. That's the coatings division. So we own the rights to that in all of Southern Nevada. And then we got the Ceiling Pro franchise, which is the same thing. And coming soon, we got Fritch Family Vending Company as well. So
Nice.
get some vending machines and some ATMs around town.
So now out the gate, let's just get this all out the way. Where can you
Yeah.
be reached at? Like if they're coming to look for Busy Bee to do all their work for them, where
Yeah.
can they go look for you?
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Just call 702-330-1300. Commercial janitorial, all types of floor care work as well.
All right, now what kind of, do you got a website? What's your website?
Yes, absolutely. BusyBeeNV, like Nevada.com. BusyBeeNV.com.
All right, now what are your social medias you got for Busy?
So LinkedIn, you know, just look for me, Brandon Fritch. And then, of course, we got our Facebook, Busy Bee Groundskeeper and Floor Care as well.
All right, Instagram?
No Instagram.
No Instagram?
No,
You had an Instagram, but that motherfucker got hijacked, and all of a
Yes, it
sudden I
did.
was getting pictures from some fucking half-naked chick. Like,
Yeah, from Russia. Yeah.
like, hold on, dude, this is Busy Bee groundkeeping. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I subscribe to. And all of a sudden, there's some blonde chick like, hey, how are you? I'm like, B?
Caused some issues for sure.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Man, so Busy Bee, man. So how long you been running Busy Bee, man?
So it's been 16 years, man.
16
years
years.
we've been in the valley doing our thing, man. Started off as a little weekend, you know, side hustle, and I love chasing opportunities, man. And one opportunity happened after another, and thankfully here we are 16 years later, man.
So what motivated you as a business, or just as an individual, actually, to actually go ahead and roll the dice and start with, you know, your first business is yourself? Because most people, like, they have the dreams, they have the ideas, but nobody you know, it's a very small number of people who actually, like, you know, put in, you know, their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
You know, and actually go for it.
You know, for me, man, I'd love to sound like some business guru and like have some mind-blowing advice on that. But for me, really what it was is that I always knew that I wanted to pave my own path. Obviously, I didn't know what industry it was going to be in or anything, you know. And for me, a lot of it had to do with I was young and I was naive. You know, and I just thought that if I worked hard, it would work out. Now, me knowing the things I know about business, I realize that it's, you know, a lot more than just working hard. Hard-working businesses go out of business every day. You know what I mean? So a lot of it back then when I got started, I was 23 or 24 years old, you know, and And yeah, man. So it was just being naive and jumping into it. And for me, a lot of it too was I had just come from a place where, you know, I felt like I wasn't going to get offered a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And so I felt like the opportunities I needed to just create for myself.
Well, no, it's interesting because knowing you and knowing, you know, exactly when you started your business and started, you know, to go that route, like to me, logically thinking, like it was an odd time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people will like try to have some kind of cushion, will have like investment money that they have put aside for they're going to go ahead and like put together a food truck.
Yeah.
You know, completely. And I already got the truck to pull it. And
Absolutely.
everything out the gate. Motherfucker, we were riding around in a fucking busted ass Astro van, homie, that was like barely fucking holding on to the streets, homie.
Yep.
Like going from job to job. Like,
Absolutely, man.
but you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like from the fucking straight like bottom as far as like
Hey, man.
what is the bare minimum to get in the game?
That was the bare
It was
minimum.
like you were like, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah, and you know, for me, what it was, and this is kind of what I urged, you know, younger business people as well, is look into franchise opportunities, you know, because that's what it was for me. Was I didn't have the business experience and the business background, but I knew I was ready to grind and I was ready to get it. And so when I found that franchise model where I could basically just buy into something that was already proven, then that gave me the experience I needed, man. And, you know, I did that for 5 years. You know, the first 5 years I was in business, I ran a franchise, you know, and then I realized that I wanted to create my own brand.
Yeah.
You know, I could be me more when I'm creating my own brand rather than riding on somebody else's brand.
Yeah.
You know, so and that too was a little bit naive as well, because now that I'm older in business and I'm from a place where I want to invest in other businesses, I'm always looking at franchises. Because again, it's that proven model. You don't need to figure it out. Just buy into it, work their system, and you're going to be successful.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean? So,
Especially from an investment standpoint.
man, you don't ever see a McDonald's with boarded up windows, bro.
Yeah.
You know, these people buy into that. They follow that blueprint and they're successful.
Yeah.
You know, so I would urge anybody that's looking to get into business and doesn't quite know what they want to do, look into a franchise, you know,
Yeah.
and the franchise will show you the blueprint to be successful.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah, I've thought about franchise a couple times. Yeah, because, you know, get into a good franchise, like you say, like a McDonald's or something. Yeah, it's going to cost you a good 30 G's, you know.
Oh, it's going to
50
cost.
G's, you
Oh,
know.
McDonald's, you got to have capital, like you got to have like $500,000, and then you got to have like $1 million in the bank
Really? Before McDonald's will fuck with you?
to fuck with a McDonald's, bro.
Damn.
That's one of the biggest investments.
Yeah, because I was looking at a couple of different ones, like smaller ones like Subway, Sonic,
Absolutely,
shit
man.
like that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they were only wanting like 30 to,
Yeah.
yeah, it was around 30. you
Yeah.
know, but those are obviously not McDonald's. So, you know, Sonic's not all over the, you know, United States, let alone the world.
Right.
You know, and it don't
Yeah.
cost much to do a Subway. Subways are tucked in the corner most of the time. Like,
Absolutely.
what are we gonna do with the storage closet over here? Like, fucking throw in the Subway.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We
Well,
can make at least 6-inch sandwiches.
yeah. Hey, man. Subway kills it, man.
Yeah, they do.
Subway, actually, I was watching the Food That Built America, you know,
Yeah.
that documentary, and I believe Subway is the largest fast food chain in the world, bro.
Are they?
Blew my mind to think that, because right away you think McDonald's.
Yeah.
No, it's actually Subway.
I mean, if you do really think about it, there are a lot more Subways.
There's a lot more.
You know what I mean? Because
I just-
they'll be on like every other corner almost. If you really look at the map, like
Yeah.
put in your phone right now, Subway will be like.
I think I just always go to McDonald's because, you know, their marketing budget is crazy. They're in your face all the time, man. You're driving down the road, you see a sign, you hear it on the radio, you see it on TV.
I mean, look at
They're
fucking what was that Boulder Station? They got a Subway in the front and the back.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? They got 2 Subways in fucking Boulder Station.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yep, that's one of those franchises, like you say, that fucking you put a little bit of money into and it'll go. I mean, yeah, you'll have to man your Subway probably for a while, but
Yeah.
You know, that's what when I was working at 7-Eleven when I was 17, working stocking shelves because I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
The chick that owned that 7-Eleven, yeah, that's what she started is like working there. And then she eventually bought that one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, went into the franchise. Obviously, it was a franchise, 7-Eleven. So then she ended up like getting in and bam, getting in a couple more. And then, yeah, before you know it, she's got like 3 or 4 7-Elevens. She's balling.
Yeah, I've heard that about a lot of those like Domino's and stuff too, that a lot of their franchise owners like really started at the bottom, like when they were a kid, you know, a delivery driver or whatever, a dishwasher, and now they own a franchise. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude, I just cut this dude the other day, and he just got a job at Domino's, right? And he's like all excited. He's like, man, they gave me an electric bike to deliver and all this stuff. He's like, dude, I'm going to run this Domino's.
That's
like,
awesome, man.
Yeah, that was his fucking thing.
Man,
he just
that's
got
dope.
hired as delivery guy, and he's already like, I'm going to run this one.
That's
like,
man.
I was like, nice. That's a good vision.
That's
You know what
awesome,
I mean?
man. He should start picking the brain of the person that owns the franchise.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll put him on a path to becoming an owner, you know, walk him through the ranks and one day he'll own,
Yeah.
you know.
So Busy Bee, like in Busy Bee groundskeeping, like what all does that encompass?
Man, commercial janitorial is our basically our
stable.
lead service, you know. So you think of large business buildings, medical centers, stadiums, you know, those things, they all need to be cleaned. And then, of course, with that comes the floor care that's involved. So you either have carpet or tile and grout or concrete that has to be polished, you know, things like that. So, and then the Santa Glaze franchise, that's a proprietary coating. So that's a floor coating like an epoxy. And same thing with the Sealing Pro. That's a proprietary chemical blend that cleans greasy ceilings in restaurants. So restaurant kitchens, they get real greasy ceilings. We have a way to go in there and get those clean and basically make them look close to new.
Yeah, because they basically they basically need everything cleaned out in the restaurant now. Like we need these floors degreased,
Everything.
we need these walls, the ceiling,
Yeah.
these vents.
And you know, again, for me, it just started off as going into offices when they close and pulling the trash and vacuuming.
Yeah,
You know, and then I started noticing that people were in there cleaning the carpet and people were doing the windows and people were cleaning the tile. And these were all things that they were paying each one of these people extra to do, you know? And I was just like, nah, man,
you got 10 companies coming in to
there's
clean this place.
Yeah, there's too many opportunities. You know, it's the 30-70 rule, you know,
Yeah.
like 30% of your customers bring you 70% of your revenue.
So
You know?
yeah, so once you got Busy Bee off and running, then that's when you swooped in on Santa Glaze. Now, what gave you the Santa Glaze idea?
It was same kind of thing, man. I thought of all the pain points of my customers and of my employees as well. And one of the worst things, man, was tile and grout, and especially like in public restrooms, man.
It's just bad.
They're bad, they stink, they're hard to keep clean. And I was just doing my research and came across these guys. I took a trip down to Florida. They were extremely professional. They had been doing this for a long time. Nobody had made the Las Vegas territory successful.
No,
And
that's
there were,
weird because like half the casinos they got that kind of floor.
well, but I'm seeing what some of the challenges were now. You know, Vegas is run by the union, man.
yeah, it's true.
And it's a task navigating through the legalities of the union and all of that stuff. So yeah, but I mean that's just what led us there, man, was the pain points of knowing that tile can only get clean to a certain point. And so I came across this, and this was a permanent solution, and people weren't going to have to worry about stinky, nasty, all that stuff anymore. So, yeah, man, now we're basically in every hospital in town. We've done quite a few Caesars properties, MGM properties. Yeah, man, it's it's
nice
I'm
that
feeling
you're
blessed,
getting
man.
up there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like as soon as
feeling
you start
blessed, man.
pulling in all those fucking casino deals, you know what I mean?
It can be nice, man. You know, it's nice to see employees accomplish things, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to see them getting new cars and moving into bigger houses and stuff like that, man. You know, like that really
Yeah,
is
not just you. Like you're
Oh,
watching
no.
you're watching everybody come up.
No, man. You know, I'm a Cancer, man. Like that's my astrological sign. You know, I don't know if I believe in all that stuff, but one thing I know I've always been told with that is that they're extremely giving. You know, and that's me for sure, man. I want to see everybody succeed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I say, and you know as well as everybody. Well, not everybody, but yeah, when you make everybody else around you, especially that work for you, like you said, be able to come up too. They're feeling it. Like that causes them to be a little bit more apt to come to work.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man.
You know,
For sure.
because just working a job, period, no matter where it's at, what you're doing, like no matter how not bothering it is, like
Yeah.
if after a while you're like, fuck, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's why, it's nice to try to be conservative and get to a point where you don't have to trade your time for money.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
You can put your money to work for you or, other things. Like I said, vending machines, put vending machines to work for you. Laundromats, you can put washers and dryers to work for you. And when you're sleeping at night, there's still revenue that's being created. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I mean?
that's a dope. That's definitely a good idea for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just thankful, man. I'm thankful to be sitting here with you, man. 28 years strong, man.
Yeah, that is true. It's been 93. So yeah, we're almost into 29,
Yeah.
30. Yeah, it's getting close.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We just got a little bit more hair on our face now, a little less acne.
Just a little bit. I think the acne's in different places now is the issue. You know
like,
what I mean?
oh, it's on my back and over
it's
here.
on my back and my ass and not my chin anymore.
Yeah, for real, not my forehead. Like,
Yeah.
pow.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I'll take it right on the rim of the lip.
Oh,
Remember
that's
those
the worst,
ones?
man. That's
Like,
the worst. Because now everybody's thinking it's something else and shit. And you're like, God damn. I'm supposed to be walking what's her name to science class today,
yeah,
and
bro,
I got
you
this thing on my lip.
fucking right on the rim of that motherfucker right there. That bitch hurt too.
Oh,
I'd be like, oh, you be trying to pop it and it's so painful.
absolutely, man.
Man, it was funny when I first saw that shirt through the fucking peephole. I almost thought you was wearing that fucking B shirt from back in the day.
What B shirt?
That Boston Bruins.
The Boston Bruins.
Remember we went to that
yes.
party back in the day?
Yeah.
That
I was
fucking private school party.
Yeah, I was about 110 pounds and I had on a 3XL
Of a
hockey jersey.
hockey jersey of a team you didn't know what the team was.
No, but I had it for the B. I was
Yeah.
just having this conversation with somebody the other night.
Were you?
Exactly told them about that jersey, man.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Because we were talking about, getting hats that have the letter B on it,
Yeah.
regardless of it not being like my team or whatever, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, yeah. And I said, yeah, back in the day, I used to wear a Boston Bruins. I had never watched hockey in my life, but it had a B on it. And people would always stop me thinking I was a Boston Bruins fan,
Hey, no. Yeah, I remember we were at that party and that dude was like, we're in that pool room and shit. Remember, we were just chilling. That dude was all excited and shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, you're a Bruins fan? You're looking at him like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, the Bruins. You're like, what? He's like, the jersey. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, that's Jabba. You're like, oh no, I just wear it because the B, man.
Yeah.
She was all like, you were all standing all extra cool and shit. So you had that fucking hair,
Yeah.
fucking slicked back.
Parted
Like,
and, yeah.
what's
Oh,
up?
man. Crazy.
That's just funny. Old baby face looking ass motherfucker. That's when you were baby face as fuck.
Hell yeah.
I got some pictures from those days. Boy, Brandon looked like a lit boy for sure.
Yes, I did. I was definitely the late bloomer of the
The
crew,
little
for
redheaded lit boy. That
For
should
sure.
fucking be. Like you said, then wearing a triple X.
Wearing a triple
Ooh,
X,
those
man.
jeans we used to wear back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh man. You put those bad boys on today, you feel crazy. Like I got some that I've had since like 2000. I
Because they're
think.
so wide leg, you mean?
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah. It's
I
just
can't
so
imagine.
like baggy and big. You're just like, these aren't even like I'm just carrying around too much extra weight
Yeah.
with these pants. Like,
It'd be hard to find some pants like that now, man.
yeah, it's not easy.
They do not make them cut like that at all anymore.
Yeah, even when you think you're about to get a regular pair of pants, dude, like
Yeah.
you put them on, they're like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like everything is geared towards skinny now.
And it's crazy, man, that a motherfucker doesn't like look in the mirror before they like. Some people are just not built for them skinny jeans.
Oh shit!
Hey, what's dude's name from Monsters Inc?
I don't know.
The
What's his name?
the green dude.
Oh, Mike or
Yeah, Mike. I swear that's
with the little bitty ass legs and shit.
Yeah.
Like living like
That's a
round
big
upper
dude.
body and shit.
yeah, that's a big dude in skinny jeans.
Oh yeah.
Is Mike Makowski.
That shit do be looking funny as hell.
Come
It's
on,
like they're
man.
literally sagging because they can't get those motherfuckers up no higher than the thigh.
Fucked up. Big dude with a pair of joggers on.
Yeah, for real. Like tight than a motherfucker. Like what the fuck? Yeah, I've seen some people wearing some questionable outfits.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I'm sure I wore some questionable shit.
each
here and
their
there.
own,
I mean, we're
man.
just talking about these baggy ass pants.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about those fucking hoop earrings we used to wear back in the day?
I definitely had some hoop earrings.
Some fucking large hoop earrings
Large
too.
hoop earrings,
They were
man.
cool little motherfucker looking though, weren't they?
Yeah,
And
I
we thought we
they
were the
were.
bees knees,
Jodeci,
didn't
man.
we?
I thought I was a member of Jodeci.
Jodeci,
with them
huh, like,
things, man. Yeah,
Two fucking big
hoop
ass
earrings,
hoops.
trying to be romantic and shit.
For real. The red light special and shit. Oh man. Creating fucking mixed sex tapes.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get sex.
I'm trying.
You know what I mean?
Trying,
like
man.
trying like a motherfucker. Like, goddamn all these stingy ass bitches, man.
It's crazy. Man.
For real, dude. Like,
Oh,
it
it's
was fun. I was
crazy.
having a conversation with Pops earlier, and I was like, I've been trying to get some pussy since about 13. Like, trying like a motherfucker. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took many, many times before it was actually successful. Many, many tries. And then
Yeah,
even
man.
after you're successful, it was-
13, man. That was a big change, man. Shit. My dad took the trash out one morning, man, and caught my little girlfriend crawling out the fucking bedroom window as he was taking he kept the trash right outside the window. So he goes out right as she's crawling out the window. Man,
yeah,
it was,
like dumb luck, huh?
yeah, that was not a good situation, man.
Bob.
Yeah. It's 80.
Oh, damn, she should have been. Damn, he must have been up early.
Yeah.
Or did she sleep in?
Yeah, it was probably about 6 a.m., man.
yeah.
He was
Bob was
taking
always up early.
He was
though.
taking the morning trash out right as she was trying to make her escape.
It's like, damn, Bob, you got to take the trash out so early?
Yep.
He was on his way to work. Go sell some fittings, some piping,
Yeah, some eco labs, some chemical.
to build some fucking pipes out of them fucking things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. He used to sell the chemicals, man, to all the casinos and shit, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
Man, I got so much drive from him, man. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't appreciate it. You know, obviously the story of everybody's life, right? You don't
Yeah.
appreciate it when you're young, you know. I have a 18-year-old son now, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm sure he doesn't quite get it.
Nah.
You know, he'll come around. But yeah, I look at it now, man, and I see how much motivation I got from him, you know, running around and hustling and big ass beeper on his hip. And he was in and out of every casino on Las Vegas Boulevard, man. So it was definitely cool to watch that coming up.
Yeah, it definitely gave you something to look at because a lot of dudes out there ain't got nobody like that around.
Oh, man, I'm so thankful for it, man. And he's still here, man. 84 years old. And he kicks it and hangs out and he watches sports and he knows the players and he's just sharp, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You
Old
know?
Bob.
Yeah, man.
I ain't seen him in a while. It's been a couple of years.
Definitely blessed to have my parents in my life, man. You know?
18-year-old. That's crazy. No, Eli's 18 now.
18, man.
You know what I mean?
He'll be 19 this year, man. He goes off to college and, you know, starts off on his own journey, man. You know, he knows what he wants to do. He's full force on it. You know, he's
Crazy having older kids now, 'cause especially like we think back on what we were doing when we were like Eli's age. 18,
Oh, I was a knucklehead when I was his age.
You know what I mean? Like we're definitely, our kids are better people than we are.
Absolutely,
Or
man.
we were.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think that should be expected, man.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
2.0.
Like, the shit that we went through would be all in vain if our kids weren't able to learn from that shit.
But is it like, I was having a conversation because we went and did a escape room like a couple weeks ago, right?
Okay.
Me, my girl, and Seth and Savannah.
Nice.
And it's
I
like,
love
so
it.
we get in the first room, and basically the whole beginning of that room starts with like Seth's handcuffed to the bench. It's like you're in jail, and I'm in a cell. Kia and Savannah are in a cell. Well, basically the whole thing starts out with Seth, you know,
Okay.
being able to get himself unlocked from the fucking thing. I was just looking and I'm thinking in my head, like how the difference between people who've had a life of there's pressure has been applied,
Yeah.
and some motherfuckers who haven't had much pressure applied.
Okay.
It's almost like that gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Like we're giving our kids this edge where they're like,
Yeah.
you know, they didn't have to go through much, but then it's like, what's going to happen when they do get to that stress level? Because by this age, we'd been through all kinds of fucking stress.
That is
saying?
man, that is a reality that I think about all the time right now, man. You know, because like in the pursuit of like being the good parent, you know what I'm saying?
You shelter.
You shelter them and shield them, you know. And now I'm looking at it like, fuck, he's about to go off, you know. Like I've kept him under my wing pretty tight, and you know he's clear that he wants to go out of state. He wants to do his own thing, you know. So I encourage that. And, you know, we just, we hope that all the shit that we taught them starts to come
Yeah, for real.
into play when they're out there on their own.
Making their
you know?
decisions.
Exactly. And I think that that's when it hits them. You know, when they're out there living life on their own, all this advice you instilled, they're finally like, damn, now I get what he was saying about this. You know what I mean? Now I get why he was saying be a little bit conservative because times might be tough tomorrow or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things I think about, because it was like that shit, that point right there was just like, maybe I should have applied more pressure. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like you said, you know, we do certain things so our kids can have it, you know, easier than we did, or, you know,
Yeah.
just become a, you know, nicer, better person than we were, you know, not, you know, travel down so many dark roads we traveled down. But then at the same time, it's like it kind of like, you know, gave us a tougher exterior to where we were able to easier navigate through this shit without being bothered.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
Because I can imagine, dude, Savannah's going to be one of those girls out there that's just fucking like triggered by fucking everything. You know what I mean? Because she's a young, you know, college girl, fucking
Well,
shelter,
I think
taking
that,
care of her whole life. Like,
well, I mean, let's face it, the world we're living in is becoming more padded too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of these kids that have been coddled or sheltered or whatever, they're living in a much friendlier environment than what we lived in. You know, I mean, you talk about. I mean, they have some things harder as well. Absolutely. But when you talk about things like being able to be who they truly are, you know what I mean? I think that's unique to right now.
As far as like, what do you mean by being who they are? Like just not being so tribal, maybe?
Absolutely, man. You know, like when we were growing up, it was
tribal.
kind of very black and white as far as like even like education wise, you know, like you really thought to be somebody you had to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the message is real clear nowadays that that's not the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so just with different things like that, you know, I think that, you know,
Yeah,
it's,
it definitely has changed. I mean, it is a whole different world now because like you got kids that are like growing up knowing that they can be like some kind of gamer or some kind of fucking social media something,
Absolutely, man.
you know, right out the gate.
Absolutely.
Like you got this dude fucking Mr. Beast and shit,
Yeah.
fucking biggest YouTuber in the fucking world, you know, 23 years old.
God
You
damn.
know, he was just got onto YouTube at 11 and just like, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? And by 23, this motherfucker is, you know, biggest YouTuber in the fucking world. You know what I mean? It's like we had that wasn't even a thought ever, let alone being a
Absolutely.
gamer
Absolutely.
or, you know what I mean? Any of these other options that kids got nowadays are just like,
Absolutely, man. And I love that, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like as somebody who's done it for himself, you know, his whole life,
Yeah.
like I have, I love to see how there's options for people now to have their own lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With these hustles, you know, driving for Uber or Lyft or delivering food or, you know, online coding or whatever it is, man. You know, you got a skill that you can craft or you're artsy, so you can throw the shit on Etsy and make, like, man, the opportunities are just out there, man. You know?
It's funny, like over the last couple of years with this whole, you know, Modelo virus thing going around. All these corporations and shit are over here bitching and whining and crying about how they can't find any employees and we can't find workers and we can't find this and we can't find that. And it's like, don't you realize that all this shit just pushed people to that point where they were like, there's other shit to do besides work for the man. Like you're saying, all these things you just named. You know what I mean? These are
Absolutely,
all
man.
things that are normally people wouldn't even consider. But just because of like the COVID lockdowns and all these things, people are like thinking outside the box of like, how the fuck
Right.
can I get this bread? And people started getting it. They're like, you know what? Fuck going
And
back
I
to
love
that
it.
bullshit job. So now companies are like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody coming back to work because guess what? They're all fucking social media influencers now.
I love it, man. I love it, you know?
Yeah.
I always said when we were in the lockdown, like, if you don't come out of this with a new skill, you know what I mean? Or like a new avenue, like this shit was in vain, man. Because we all had time to really fucking reflect.
Yeah.
That was the slowest I've ever moved in years, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and that shit was unhealthy for me. I gotta
Like move as far as what, body wise or just as far as business wise or
both, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's business. You got to be out shaking hands, moving
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
people, so you're active.
So you're being a little less
You
active.
cut that off, man, and it's like, man, and even just the deals that were being made, you know.
Yeah, they're not in person.
They're not in person anymore. People ain't shaking each other's hands. Everybody's afraid of each other, you know, like, but you had to figure it out. You had to make a pivot, you know. My industry, the electrostatic sprayers became a big thing. Shit, I got on Alibaba, made a connection with a manufacturer in China, had a bunch of them joints made, and all the work that I had lost with casinos for that year, I went to all my casino connections. I got the sprayers. I know you guys need these. This is going to be part of your protocol moving forward in your rooms. I was able to sell those and supplement a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
People that lost their jobs were able to drive for Uber or whatever the case may be, deliver food. You had people that didn't want to come out of their house for nothing.
Yeah, for real.
You know? So people started delivering food, making better money than they were making, clocking in and out.
Yeah, I know a few people that quit their jobs and just do Uber now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I love it. You know, and it's kind of a thin line, you know. I love it because I love to see people be successful, man, and pave their own path. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love that. You know, my business model, I need offices to be filled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if we move to like this remote kind of at home working and all these big office buildings start shutting down, you know, the primary industries that I'm in
yeah.
get severely hurt by
Yeah,
that. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I still need motherfuckers at the office, goddammit, so they need to knock this shit off.
knock
like,
this
I'll come
shit
through with
off.
the fucking electromagnetic UV fucking shit sprayer. And
Right.
We'll get
you,
this shit
you
right.
cannot have a budget meeting in your flip flops. Get back to the office. No, but you know, but again, I love to see people making their own way, man, creating a hustle. You know, I love seeing people capitalize off of their creativity as well, man. You know,
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I definitely like to see like the artistry that has come out of the last couple of years. You know, definitely a lot of people have just moved on from corporate life, dude. And I like to see that. You know,
Yeah.
I like to see just fucking Tammy and Jim, dude, on their RV lifestyle on YouTube.
That's
you know what I
fucking
mean? Just
crazy,
going
man.
from place to place. Just
That's crazy,
And they're just
man.
two regular ass fucks.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Like neither
love
one
it.
of them have good looks.
Yeah.
Like neither. There's
love
nothing
it.
really
They
charismatic
don't
about
have a
either one of
makeup
them.
crew following
But
them
guess
around.
what? They're fucking doing it.
Yeah, I love it, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
That's what this shit's about, man.
Yeah.
You know, get motivated, do it. Like, that's the biggest thing about these things that you see online is you realize that these people are just like us, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're not doing it, I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Yeah, well, like it goes back all basically to the first thing we talked about was just the fact that like there's those people that just do it, you know what I mean, and go in, and then there's those people that just think about it and they just never go in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too because sometimes you'll even meet people that probably should be going in.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
like you can't really, you know, you only can do so much to like try to try to
Yeah.
get somebody to go and take that step.
Yeah.
Because like me, I'm like over here podcasting, doing all this shit. It's like I'm probably not the best person to be doing this shit. You know what I mean? But
Oh, man.
I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna have fun while I do it. You know
Oh, but
what I
I've seen the progression, man, and cut it out, man. Everything you do, man, you study, you know. So I know the way you are, man. I've seen the progression as I watch them, you know, everything getting better.
Well, like the podcast thing for me really is about me working on my vocabulary and my talking skills. You know, I'm like saying, you know, I'm trying to like cut myself out of saying specific things continually, trying to get myself to where I can speak, you know, proficiently without stuttering or, you know, confusing my mind, stuff like that. And it all has to do with like what I really want to do, which is like my motorcycle stuff, you know? So I don't have to like cut so much out of like what I'm doing when I'm riding. I can just be like, get on there and I can just do a small little moto vlog or whatever. And it's like, I don't have to go through there and make 1,000 edits because every other is hum and, you know, and
Yeah.
blah, 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 you know, bullshit. It's like, learn to speak, right? You know, put yourself on camera behind the microphone, watch yourself, listen to yourself, put it out there, get used to hearing yourself, all those kind of things. Because just hearing yourself and watching yourself talk on video is like very strange to me.
Oh, it's super strange to me, man. That was one of the main things that I was just like thinking about all day today. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, now I'm gonna have to listen to myself, and
It's rough at first.
it is, man.
It's even today, like I was listening to myself on a couple of the older riding videos I had, and I was just like, I was like,
It is what it is, man.
yeah. But I am getting better, and I am getting used to hearing my voice on TV, and when it's on, you know, being recorded. So I think as I get used to it, it makes it a little bit easier on me.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, I'll cut out a whole lot of shit, especially on not on the podcast, but on my riding videos.
Yeah.
I'll just be blah, 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 blah. I'll just be fucking running my mouth and shit. It's like, man, cut all this shit out, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah, sometimes that silence to just let them watch what you're doing is good.
or just say some shit that actually, like, means something. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'm just fucking, like,
Right.
that, like, I think I get that part from my mom, you know, or you could just stand at the store in line and just, like, blah, 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 at somebody
yeah.
that you don't even know,
Yeah.
talking about nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
My dad could always do that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember always going to visit my dad in the summer. And we would anywhere we would go, man, he would tell them the story about his boy here visiting from Vegas. You know, and we were in the country in Pennsylvania, man. And when
So that was big shit.
when you say somebody's from Vegas, I actually had people that thought that everyone in Vegas lives in a fucking hotel, bro.
Yeah, I heard that. I have had that one before too.
Crazy, man.
Like, what hotel do you live in?
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yes.
What hotel do I live in?
Somebody in Somerset, Pennsylvania. I'm gonna blast Somerset, Pennsylvania out. Actually asked me what hotel I live in. It's pretty
I
funny.
heard you were from Vegas. Like, oh, you know, in the MGM, room 504.
Yeah.
I got an overlook of the pool.
Unfortunately, I wasn't that witty and quick when I was younger,
nah.
so I just told him the story that no, not all of us live in hotels. I did live literally a few miles from the strip.
Yeah,
you know what I
literally.
mean? All of us did,
You know,
really.
you know,
We went
Decatur's
to school.
not far from the strip at all.
You know, so.
I mean, fuck.
And-
Grandview is literally right there now.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, I remember when we started high school, Decatur stopped at Tropicana. Tropicana was the last street on Decatur. You know, and you think about it now, man, 2 million people deep.
Yeah, that road just goes.
That'd be a good statistic to look at, man.
What's that?
What was Vegas's population the year we started high school?
Oh, you like 250,000?
No, you think so?
Yeah, probably something
Wow.
like that. Let's see. What do you think? What's your guess?
I'm going to say probably 500,000.
Let's see. What did we say? 1993.
Yep, 93.
$1993. Damn. 857,000.
No shit.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I wonder what it is now. See what it was in 2020. Damn.
I think it's like 2 million, right?
No, 2020 it was 641,000.
What?
Mm,
Damn.
it dropped.
No shit.
So let's see. See 2022. According to their census, Las Vegas census. Yep, 2.8 million. That's crazy. Then how? Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah, that 2020 stat seems
Yeah,
off.
that
man.
had to be something else. Yeah, Las Vegas was at 2.7 in 2019.
It's getting packed, man.
In
It's
2020.
it's getting too full. It's going to be
Yeah.
Southern California before too long, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're already starting to like build up and like trying to go up into the,
Yeah,
Kyle
man.
Canyon area and shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's too much, dude. When you start having those neighborhoods, you're pushing into Red Rock. Like, you're going to be going pretty much connected Gene soon, probably all the way
Yeah.
to Prim and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
You know, if they could, they'd probably try to bridge it right through to Boulder City, like right on through to Laughlin, like
Boulder-
that whole area. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, there's nothing but desert here. Let's just build it up.
Boulder City won't allow it.
Nah,
That's
yeah,
why I
it's
love
good.
it out there, man. I love living out there. Work in the city. Live out in Boulder City.
Yeah, Boulder City's cool. I like going out there. It's just it's just too rich for my blood.
It's a little it's a little pricey, man.
Yeah, it's a little
it can
too
be
rich
a
for
little
my
pricey.
blood. But it's nice to go visit. I like to go out there. I like the fucking cafe out there. Nice little spot to get away to.
For sure. I've been getting away to it for
Say some years now.
almost 19 years, man.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
moved
you
out
have
there.
been out there.
I
for a
moved
while.
out there and I was there for probably about 6 months when I found out that I was going to be a father, man.
Damn.
You know, and that was all that all right there, man, was all part of the change for me, man. You know, finding out I was going to be a father, taking care of my grandfather the last year he was alive. You know, that was a big thing for me, man. That really helped me just kind of focus my life and get back on track, man. You know, obviously, as you know, I was out of control.
Yeah.
You know, so it was good, man, and I haven't left since, man. It's peaceful. You get your small town feel, you know. So
That's what I say. Once you move there and once you've like started a life, it's like it's nothing, you know. But it's just like trying to move to Boulder City is just something different.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
You know, because it wouldn't be bad to live out there and just work in Vegas. But like I said, that's And then the last year, that's with the real estate prices, everybody coming from California, just buying, spending over market prices and shit.
Crazy,
like,
man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, banks.
I wish I had an opportunity to buy an apartment complex, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Because the need for renting places is at an all-time high, man. With houses being as expensive as they are, less and less people are being able to buy their own, you know? So that's the play, man. Duplexes, fourplexes, small apartment complexes. That's
Whatever you can get in on, huh?
That's the play, man. That's what I'm trying to move towards.
Yeah, we were talking about that spot out in Boulder City.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and that's definitely some work.
It's a lot of work, man. I know somebody that's building an apartment complex right now. 20 million he had to come up with.
Damn.
You know, he's got connections that are way beyond, you know, any kind of people I know.
Yeah. If you're putting together 20 million, you got somebody.
Yeah, but, you know, it doesn't have to be in Vegas either. You know, Vegas
it can
is
be
expensive to
from
play. You look at stuff in Tennessee, you look at stuff in Ohio, you know, you look at places like that, man, and you have a management company run it for you.
Yeah, that is
You know,
true.
that gets back to like what I was saying, man, where you really make your money work for you in that situation, you know? And it's really not even your money. You use the bank's money to buy it,
Yeah.
you know?
Or the banks
Promissory notes.
added to their own ledger.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, we just here's your money.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Pretty much.
Like, there's
Digital-
no cash, there's
digital
no-
currency.
nothing going on here. Like you just added funds or added a debt. Actually, all they did.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah. Whole monetary system's crazy with this Russian shit going on, boy, pushing their stuff, trying to rock the dollar. You know what I mean? These dudes aren't dummies, man.
It's a war going on for sure, man.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
War these days.
Many people aren't very privy to the fucking joint fucking statement that China and Russia put out like February 1st or 2nd. You know what I mean? Where they're just straight up talking about they're going to be the new world order and shit.
Yeah.
Like they've had enough of this West shit. You know what I mean? Like our system works better than yours, motherfucker, and we're about to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, damn, really? Like,
and I don't even know, man.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next fucking 10
China's
years.
been
you know?
here way longer than we have. You
way
know,
longer.
they really don't care about just slow playing us, man. Keep selling us goods, you know.
Yeah.
The more we become buyers rather than creators, like we are at the mercy of everybody,
Yeah.
you know.
Well-
we need to get back to becoming creators.
Well, shit, creators. Because that's what I was just looking at this thing. They were talking about these food shortages that they were talking about. Joe Biden was talking about and stuff. It was like, yeah, motherfucker, like it ain't got nothing to do with like transportation or none of this shit. What it has to do with is, you know, a few specific chemicals that motherfucking the farmers here in the United States need for their fertilization that comes specifically from Russia.
No shit.
Yeah. So now these dudes are having to like like totally fucking try to scramble to find fertilizer and shit because Biden then put these fucking, whatever's against Russia. So now, of course, that shit's not coming to the U.S. So now motherfuckers that grow food in the U.S. are like,
But I mean, yeah.
But that's the perfect point that we're talking
Absolutely,
about
man.
here. Like, everything should be in house. That way, when shit like this does happen, like our farmers don't got to worry about having food shortages because of some fertilizer coming from fucking Russia.
That was the other, yeah, man, absolutely. That was the other thing that I would have hoped that with COVID that we would have really learned too, man. Is we had so much shit just stop because it was being produced in China, and China was like real shut down, like way more shut down than we were.
Yeah.
And everything's coming from them. Like, we really should have learned at that point, like, we need to start strengthening our own shit to be able to build and produce the things we need, or make better alliances with,
some
South
Western
American
nations or
South
something.
American countries and things like that, man. It doesn't have to go on a boat now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Way
Yeah.
above my pay grade.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about with the world economy. That's like
is.
when you got a world economy, shit is just different.
Absolutely, man. And once they created this internet and all that, man, it just made the world smaller and smaller. Now we have to interact with one another,
Yeah, 100%.
So, that was one of the criticisms that a lot of people had of the last president, is that he, in his attempt to be so for America, he isolated us from a lot of the people that we really should have been working with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about like working with too many people right now. I think we should just be fucking, like you say, we need to be focused more on
Absolutely.
fucking like being in house. And then, like you say, if we got some extras or something,
Yeah.
then maybe we'll sell off our extras. But like, as far as like, just totally relying on other fucking countries for all our shit is just the wrong move.
Wrong move.
You know what I'm saying?
These guys have been around way longer than us. They'll just
Yeah.
slow play us, You think of a boxing match or some shit like that, and that guy that just lets the other dude just blow his whole fucking load.
Yep.
Tired as a motherfucker,
Yep.
And then you just put him to sleep,
Yeah.
and they're just letting us blow our load, man. Like, we're over here moving so fast and
Spinning
hella
and
debt
just
and
going
borrowing.
further in debt. Further in
Crazy,
debt,
man.
to the point where the whole world is just tired of the American dollar, and they're just like, man, fuck this dollar. And then we're poor overnight.
Yeah. I think China was trying to buy Saudi Arabian oil with their currency instead of the U.S. dollar.
Yeah,
Because the U.S. dollar has been the currency for oil exchange.
Yeah,
And they're saying, nah.
and I see here Russia's, because they're still fucking slanging hella oil. They're like, oh, we want rubles now. We don't want the dollar.
Yep.
So now they're making a play. They're working with fucking Iran, Saudi Arabia, India, China. They're selling oil to all.
Venezuela.
They're even selling oil to pretty much all of Europe still. You know what I mean? Which is a funny thing. Us, I mean, we're still buying oil and shit. I mean, they might have stopped buying oil now, but I don't know. It's just weird. Because like how does Europe stop buying oil? Like literally, they are like pipelined from Russia. Like that's where their main gas comes from. So it's like they really got to like try to look outward while everybody's looking outward. Like
Who knows, man? I don't know.
who's
the way
got
that
the
shit
oil?
works.
Who's got the oil?
Some dude
Like,
just has
Russia.
to fucking. Some guy just has to plug the fucking flow or what? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think that it just doesn't. It doesn't in reality. It just doesn't stop flowing. I think because of social media these days, they're trying to put the pressure on like those points. But it's just like in all the world wars. Like we're over here selling Nazi Germany fucking the oil they needed to fucking gas all their tanks and planes and everything while we fought them. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of sense does that make? We fucking sell them all the gas they need to fight us, you know? But it was beyond the United States, It was fucking corporations, and they're making their fucking, all their bread. They don't give a fuck who dies, Like the arms companies, they got no problems fucking selling guns to fucking Russia and then going and hooking Ukraine up with some guns, Like, We just fucking sold fucking 200,000 units times 2. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Boss is gonna give me a nice spiff for that one.
Exactly. I got my bonus.
Hey man, it's all fucked up, man. It's all bad.
But I mean, it's always been
the
fucked
fungus.
up.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's
we're
the funny
we're
part.
the fungus of the fucking planet, man. You know what I mean?
It's a wonder when the Earth is gonna shake again, you know, or the next cataclysmic fucking, you know, nice size meteor or asteroid hits the fucking planet like it's done many times before. Kind of give it a reset, you know. Maybe a couple thousand people survive, you know, and keep the beings going. Maybe not, you know.
Who knows, man?
It'd be interesting though.
Yeah, it
Anyway. I think would be really interesting if we got hit with like an EMP. You know, for like real, like we're talking about interesting.
Fuck
you know?
that. That shit
I'm not
would be
saying the
interesting.
comforts would be at a minimum.
Fuck
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But it'd be interesting as fuck to see just how the people like how everybody responds. You know, motherfuckers can't even go like 5 minutes without looking at their phone. Like literally you're gonna go without power, without, you know, running water, without all these things
Oh, I'd be fucked.
you've come accustomed to. You know?
I am not afraid to admit. I'm ashamed to admit, but I will admit I would be fucked.
Well, I don't think you'd be fucked. I think you'd be all right. You might be fucking
Well,
unpleasant than the
once I
motherfucker for
run
the
out of
first month. You know what I mean? Like running around kicking shit, fucking pissed off. Like, God damn it, fuck this shit.
One
Then
thing
after a
I've
while,
noticed-
your beard is down to here.
Yeah,
You're just
I'm not
"Ah,
as resilient as I used to be, man.
not
I used to be super resilient, man, when I was younger, man.
Dude.
And shit I would put myself through and all that.
That's what I'm saying. All the shit you don't put your shit
Man.
through, this shit would be walk in the park.
Man, we went to a damn campsite and had a cabin, bro. And on night 1, I was like, "Fuck this, we're going home," because the bed was shitty.
Oh, the beds are always shitty in those little cabins,
That
bro.
bed was garbage, man.
Dude, I had to tell the last cabin I stayed in, I had to tell the dude, hey, you need to get rid of that bed. Like literally night 1, it was cool because the first night it was like a little twin bed or queen size bed, right? And then against the wall it had like twin bunk beds. So it was like the first night we were sitting, me and Kia's laying in the bed, and it was just like that bed was so bad, so
the
bad.
worst.
I was just like, fuck this. I said, sorry. I'm getting top bunk, you get bottom bunk. You know what I'm saying? But those beds were so much more nice, so much more comfortable to lay
Yeah.
on. It was just like, fuck, hey, you got to get a new bed in there, man, because this shit is not the bee's knees.
Well, it was garbage. It was a shitty bed. I wanted to go home. Thankfully, the wife was, she was the trooper, and she was like, "No, fuck that. We're having a good weekend. Deal with it. It won't be so bad tonight after we've had a, sit by the campfire and some festivities."
You'll be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more tired. Like, okay, I can go to bed now.
Yeah.
But then, even though when you wake up at like 3 a.m. and you're like,
Oh,
damn bed,
it was brutal.
it feels like you're laying in a fucking. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was. I woke up feeling like I had been crouched over all damn night.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. And that was down by what was that on Bullhead City?
That was at the Davis Dam. It's a nice site out there, man. It's a great place to go. Like family kind of stuff, right down there by the river. They got a guy that rents the Sea-Doos and all that stuff.
Right there.
Right there. You know what I mean? He's got a trailer that had probably 40 of them things on them.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What were the deals like?
I think it was like $60 for half a day or something like that.
Oh, damn, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, man.
Yeah, I remember the last time I went down there, I think I rented one from somewhere inside Bullhead, and then they brought them down to the river and stuff. I got some. Me and Seth both had one for the day. It was a nice day. Yeah, I like that shit.
It's nice down there, man.
Yeah.
It was a little windy when we were there. I think we were probably there about 2 weeks before where peak season really starts to, like right about now.
Yeah.
It's nice, man, down there on the river. you know.
I mean, because it's 90 today, so it's probably a little bit hotter there,
Man, get in
down
that,
there.
get in that nice cold river water, man. That's a nice little trip.
Yeah, I love that place down there, Laughlin. So
Yep.
they got definitely got. I think they heard that's got some nice riding down there. Haven't explored too much down there though, as far as like riding goes. Just like I say, when you go down there, it's just mainly you're like looking at the river.
Absolutely, man. We don't see that shit, you know?
Yeah.
When I was younger, man, I remember Lake Mead was like the place, man. It's crazy now because living out there, there's mountains that I'm looking at that when I was a kid barely poked out of the water.
Yeah, like that
We
one
would-
right
we-
behind the marina.
Yeah, man, we would jump off that into the lake, and now that fucker's a big ass mountain, man.
Yeah, now motherfuckers literally go like kayak or boat around there and like camp on that motherfucker.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that shit's crazy. That shit's like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, like you said, 93, 94. When we used to go out to the lake. It was like a trip too, like an all-day trip to the lake. It
was,
seemed
yeah.
so far.
yeah, because
you know,
they didn't have the freeway system wasn't.
Yeah, it
You know,
seemed
you
so
would have to
far.
take Boulder Highway the whole way.
Yep, to Lake Mead, and then yeah, it just seemed like that trip was like the longest trip ever.
Yeah, dude.
Shit, even crossing the dam back then was like a hell of a task to go to Arizona that way
Yeah.
before they built the overpass, and it was just like you had to cross the dam.
Yep.
Oh man,
Yeah, they just did that. I mean, shit, I was working there when they started building that bridge,
yeah,
you know, because when I moved to Boulder City, that was where I first got a job at, was down there at the dam.
with that deli.
Yeah, and they started building that bridge right as I was like kind of making my exit, you know.
Yeah, that place is definitely that's a hell of a bridge.
Definitely.
I've been across it a few times, but I've never done the tourist thing and like go parked and like walked up over there and like let's look over at this bridge.
I've never done that either, man.
I'm like driving by, like, well, if you can't see it, why drive by?
Absolutely.
Then fucking, I'm not gonna see it.
I've driven that bridge hella times, man, to go to Kingman to see my mom, and I don't think I've ever even had the desire to get out and walk on the bridge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many times have you actually been on the dam, though? You know, like looked over the dam.
I've
like,
been
many times. It's like,
When I worked there a lot, because the employee parking lot was on the Arizona side
was
of
it?
the dam. So when you were walking to go to work, you would have to park over on the Arizona side, walk across the fucking dam, you know, looking over the sides or whatever
Yeah, that's crazy.
to walk up to work.
But
You know,
they did-
but
yeah.
before that, growing up out here, I never went on a tour of Hoover Dam. Like maybe went there as a kid. I wasn't paying attention. My head was in the fucking clouds. Like never really soaked it in until I actually worked there, you know, and got to
Yeah.
actually see the stuff, you know.
Actually, did you actually go on a tour, or did you just like did somebody you knew there just take you on a little like, hey, come check this out?
Yeah, they weren't doing the full tour yet when I started because of September 11th. You know, because I started down there, you know, my son was born in 03. So I started down there in 03. So this was 2 years after September 11th, you know. So shit at the Hoover Dam was still
it's
on
still
heightened
tight, yeah.
fucking alert, man.
Yeah, they still act off. Man, ever since then, they've never let up on that shit.
They sure haven't, man.
Still tight as fuck. Like, I was on a motorcycle ride one day and just went to go ride that way, just to go over go down,
Yeah.
across the dam, up over through the Arizona side and stuff. Of course, I'm armed. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Oh.
of course, you go down there and they're like, oh, that's no. Of course, I'm an honest veteran. Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm fucking armed. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, they want to stick out their chest and start acting tough. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you can't bring it on federal. Like, dude, I'm fucking on board. It's like, I'm going to ride across the fucking dam. Like, I'm not trying to, what am I going to do with the firearm?
You
Like,
can't even ride across the
Yeah.
dam no more, though.
No?
Nope.
Well, so what do? You ride to it?
You ride to a goddamn parking lot, you pay to fucking park, and then you walk around and pay to do a bunch of other shit.
Damn.
It's
so
like every other state park in the country, man.
So you literally just you gotta pay, you gotta park and pay, and then you gotta pay to just go down and like walk across the dam. I guess you can do that now.
Nah,
or no,
you
you
don't
can't
have
even
to
do that now.
I think you can walk across it, yeah. But no vehicles can go across the dam at all.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
You ruined everything.
Yeah.
See, all these motherfuckers need to go ahead and go.
Absolutely. Well, and even, man, you know what's the real tricky part is there's a restaurant down there, okay? And that gift shop too, but it really affects the restaurant. There can't be any delivery trucks that go down there. So what those business owners have to do is they have to get a warehouse in Boulder City, have their merchandise or their food products
Like
delivered
mass stored there.
delivered to that warehouse, and then they just have a little those Ford Transit vans,
Yeah.
like one of those that'll drive down every day and bring the supplies that's needed,
Damn.
because no trucks can even get through that checkpoint, man. It's done. It's locked down.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So I guess you do got to go that way if you want. Just going to cross this way versus
Yeah.
getting to go the cool, windy way.
Absolutely.
Because even on the Arizona side, it's nice and windy over there. It's cool.
It is.
I remember when I think it was New Year's Eve of 2000 when I was coming back. I was driving, and that's the way you came from that way,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was coming
Through
through
the
there,
dam,
and it was
yeah.
backed up all the way like through that canyon. So it literally took me like 2 hours to get over the dam that night.
Yeah.
It was at night too.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 hours to get across that motherfucker. I mean, it was like
Remember all the 18-wheelers that were on that route? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that was the way
Way,
to get into
yeah.
Nevada, bro.
From that
like
way.
that was a serious situation waiting to happen if you think about it.
yeah,
Because there were semi trucks rolling across that dam for
all day, every day.
all the time, and then rolling through Boulder City, and you know what I mean, like.
That definitely does cut out on all that.
Oh man, they got lucky that there wasn't some shit that went down with that, man. Some sort of event, load a couple of, semi trucks with explosives or whatever.
And just fucking take out the fucking dam.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't even be saying that, man. You put this shit on You put this on Facebook, man, and the algorithm is
Be
gonna pick that shit up.
click. Fortunately, when you only got 2 people that listen, they don't give a fuck what you say or what your thumbnail looks like, or if you got cuss words everywhere.
Hey, but you know what, man? This is the
They'll come back and get me one day when I blow up. They'll be like,
That's how it is, man.
back in the day when you were talking to Busy Bee, remember that? When
Yeah.
you were talking about
Yeah.
bombs and
Yeah.
dams.
Yeah. And then Busy Bee will lose all the clients too, because I'll be associated with your ass.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's some shit, man.
It was those 2 guys. I knew it.
Those two guys.
Those 2 guys.
I seen that one a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I think I sent you the video.
yeah. I reflect back on those, dude. Like, it was funny. Somebody had brought up some today, and I just started going into some old quotes from those movies we used to watch all the time.
Yeah.
Going off on like Menace to Society. And
Oh, yeah,
a couple other ones,
absolutely.
like word for word and that shit. Like,
Yeah.
whole scenes, and shit. Like,
I do it, and my wife has no idea what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's
She's
the
like,
funny
"What
part."
The fuck?
Because I'll bust out in the middle of the barbershop with just some random ass scene, like, hurry up and buy, and everybody will be like looking at you like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? But then, of course, everybody that sees Menace is like, oh.
Herpes.
Yeah, herpes.
Herpes.
Herpes on my head.
Of course, you have herpes on your head.
Where else would you have it?
On your dick.
Like, you got
God.
herpes on your head? Like, oh,
That's
yeah.
funny
That's that
shit,
fucking hard.
man.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong were definitely like, in my day, they were the best. Like, you try to watch them nowadays, like, I still had to get a good kick out of it, but then, like, you know how it is, like, we used to dig Thundercats and shit that you try to put on for your kids nowadays, like, hey, watch this. It's like,
They're looking at you like, this shit is corny as hell, Dad. What the hell?
yeah,
I still try to do that, man. I got a 3-year-old at home.
oh, yeah.
And I'm trying to show him like things that I grew up on, and cartoons are just way different now, man. They're way different. Like I was even watching Looney Tunes, man, and was just thinking they would never do this shit now.
No.
You know, blasting each other, and you know, Daffy Duck gets blasted and his beak is like spinning around his head and shit.
Yeah.
They are not doing that shit nowadays, man. That would
I mean,
be,
they still run them, so.
but yeah, but that's on like the classic cartoon channel.
Probably late at night when no kids are supposed to be up.
Yeah.
Cause Elmer Fudd looking for the rabbit and all that. Like, when they got his gun.
They canceled Yosemite Sam though.
Yeah.
He got canceled because he's a Confederate soldier.
Oh damn! And he's just running around trying to blast motherfuckers all the time. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Racist.
Yeah, you got to be racist to be a Confederate,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Oh, yes. I don't know about this racism stuff. I mean, I know most of the times I was a victim of racism. It was like by some other white dudes. You know what I'm saying? B? Like
When we were growing up, that happened often with guys
way
like
more
us,
than with
man.
black dudes.
Yeah.
It was always some fucking Peckerwood that was like,
Yeah.
hey,
Who the
you
fuck
fucking
is
white boy with those round earrings.
Yeah.
Come here, you fucking punk faggot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they were always grown as fuck, too.
Yeah, they were.
That was the funny part.
It was tough, man.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's nothing.
Yeah, well, as far as like I don't know. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, because back then, I did seem to be a magnet for those type of dudes to show up. I mean, obviously now we're grown, so it doesn't happen as often. But I wonder if they're still out there. Like, we just don't hear about it. You know.
Well, we live in the city too, man. It's a lot less in the city.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was here, you know what I
It
mean?
was.
But
It
it was like,
was.
it wasn't like real rampant, you know what I mean? But it was because we were who we were. We were like the victim looking guy, I guess. They were a good guy to look at and pick on, just because we were who we were, you know what I mean? The fucking wiggers, you know what I mean?
Heard that a lot. Definitely heard that a lot for
It
sure.
was like, so there's still like those type of guys around in high school and middle school. So it's like, I wonder if it's still happening. I heard the other day, or I read something. It was like, I guess the Latino dudes are going hard on black dudes right now in the schools in
Really?
Vegas. Yeah. But that's always been a thing too.
That was a thing when we were growing up
You know,
too, man.
That's the
Yeah.
funny when people talk about racism and shit, like on TV and all these social media stuff. They keep blasting about all this black and white shit, and it's like, man, like I don't know where these fucking people live at, but in my experience, my whole life, it's been a whole lot of like, there's been some black and white, but it's been a lot of other races that have been like highly racist against each other, way more than any of the white people that I really knew, you know, because you got to think about high school. It was like the blacks and the essays were going at it hard, bro.
Constantly.
Like West Coast, like
Constantly.
Asians, like all these races, like are racist as fuck, and they go at each other, like, but nobody ever talks about it. You know, it's just like, oh, it's the black and the whites, like those are the only two races that exist.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's crazy, man. You know, I feel like my world's been a little insulated, really, quite frankly, man. You know,
Yeah.
because I've just had friends that are from all walks of life, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but at the same time, it's hard for me as a white man to talk about racism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like people not having opportunities because of who they are. You know what I mean? Like I know nothing about that, you know? But it's out there, and obviously it's never going to go away. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's there forever, man. I like to, you know, we got to include and make sure that everybody has an even crack at this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but how do you, in all actuality, you can't give anybody an equal crack at anything because there's no equal crack. You know what I mean? Because everyone from day one starts at a different position. No matter where you're at, no matter, you know, what gender, race, ethnic, you know, no matter what box you check, you know, no matter when you spit out of a fucking pussy, your circumstance is different than everyone else's. You know,
This is true. Yeah.
and based on shit, just who your mom and your dad
Financial.
are. You know, your mom and your dad will have a highly different. I think will have a highly more of an effect on your life than the color of your skin does. You know what I mean? Because you come out of the womb and you got a mom and a dad who love you and they're teaching you shit from day one. You know, you already know, all your basics before you even hit school. All these kind of things. They're constantly in your education and continually teaching you shit at home. Versus you got the parent that never once teaches their kid shit. You know what I mean? Ever. Relies on the school to teach them anything and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's right there from day one. Those are two different. And that could be the black kid could be taught from day one how to read. He knows how to read by the time he gets to kindergarten. And you got the little poor white trash kid who ain't been taught nothing. You know what I mean? Like those two circumstances, those two people are going to be highly different, and it has nothing to do with the color of their skin. You know what I mean? And then it's based on where either one of those two people are at geologically, whether or not how their experience is going to be. You know what I mean? Because there are places where certain races aren't going to have more of an advantageous time, and then it's going to be different in another region. It's like depending on where the fuck you came out at, who your parents are, it's like the time period, fucking like there's so many fucking variables to every person's like outcome, personal drive, like how much does that affect people's outcomes? Everybody doesn't have the drive to like be rich or famous. They may want to be, and they I should be this, but how much drive do you really got? How much work do you really put in?
Yeah. Or not even to be rich, or not even to be rich and famous, just to be making it.
Yeah, just to be making it.
And being comfortable. Absolutely, man. I don't know. Again, I don't think that, for me personally, I don't necessarily feel like I can speak on that situation, man, because I really don't know. Now, I do know that I have been in situations where because I am who I am, it eliminated me from certain things.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always just try to think about those situations, man, and how I felt going through that, and try to think of what some other people are going through, man, when they're trying to like make real decisions, man, like buying a home. You know what I mean? And it's like statistical facts that like there's groups of people who have a harder time buying homes, you know what I mean? Or if I'm standing in front of a fucking judge, and there's statistical information that says there's people in our society that get it worse than other people do standing in front of a judge,
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand myself, man,
Yeah.
I've stood in court with the same charges as another man that looked different than me, and they broke him off and gave me basically paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, but see, we don't know the history of everything either. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we don't know.
We don't. I mean,
we don't know anything.
I know enough to know that him and I were both there as fucking rookies and didn't know what was going on, and he got something completely different than I got, and we were there for the same thing. You know what I mean? I can only base stuff off of my experiences, bro. Because half of what I feel like is the most fucked up right now, man, is our sources of information are so fucked up.
Yeah.
Everything we rely on comes from like one of maybe like 3 providers of information.
Yeah.
No matter what platform we're getting it through.
Yeah.
You look at that chain of ownership,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like the same 3 conglomerates.
Yeah.
So I always just try to base my opinion, man, off things that I've seen and I've been through.
Yeah.
Instead of the fucking 5 o'clock news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and for me, I've seen this kind of stuff with my own eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. My base has been what I've always noticed in life, and what I've noticed has been, coming down the line with the same kind of things, is always what I've noticed in my things is motherfuckers who had lawyers is motherfuckers who didn't.
That's, man, that,
because guess what? I've been in right next to motherfuckers who had the same kind of charges I did, but guess what? I had a lawyer. You know what I mean? So I would go home. You know what I mean?
True story. Yep.
And I seen a lot of motherfuckers who weren't interested in lawyers.
Yeah.
You know, I would give up everything I had and everything I was gonna have for the next fucking 6 months in order to fucking keep my ass, on one side of the motherfucking fence, and the other motherfuckers are willing to just go ahead and sit down,
No.
or aren't even interested in fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've heard some motherfuckers get talked into some shit. I'm just like, what? Like you didn't even like attempt to contest that or nothing? Like, nah, I just took the deal, blah blah. Like about to go to jail for like 18 months and this and that. Like, hell no.
fucked up.
Like you didn't hire a low. Oh no, they want like 5 G's, blah blah. Like 5 G's, like for like
Go ahead and
18
knock
months.
that- yeah, go
like
ahead
hell
and
no,
knock that
dude.
out.
Yeah, I'll put me on a payment plan. That's what I said. Shit,
Man.
500 a month or so.
when you do the math of that, 18 months, $5,000, like,
Yeah, but motherfuckers will go. That's what I'm saying. Like they play this game.
just let me
but
sit.
We know exactly what it is. It's about money. You know what I mean? And they be pressing for money. You know, if you ain't got no money, get your ass up out of here. So I guarantee you, it was a couple times. If I didn't have some money, probably would have been having to try to take some deal, or like, and then you end up sitting down.
That's when you get fucked, man.
Yeah.
When you're in a position where you have to take the deal, man.
Yeah,
You're
especially
fucked.
out here, like, because they're all in cahoots with each other,
Yeah.
you know? Like, and that's probably like that in most cities, you know? Everybody's fucking rubbing elbows with everybody.
Oh,
and
yeah. Their office is the courthouse.
So,
They're in there seeing each other every day, you
so
know?
I think that's what it might be, even deeper than that, man. It might be like, just financial, period. You know what I mean? Like, they don't give a fuck what color you are in this motherfucker. Like, if you got some money, like, we'll okay. But if not,
See ya.
you know what I mean?
We're going to make money off you one
Yeah,
way or another. It's either
exactly.
you're going to pay through lawyers into the judicial system and fines and all that, or we're going to lock your ass up and some private prison system is going to charge the state.
yeah.
And somebody's going to make money off
Yeah,
you regardless
yeah.
if you fuck up and, catch a case, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like how just a system just works like that. They need to pull all that private shit out, you know. They need to just quit trying to make money off that shit. You know, it's
Absolutely,
like
man.
if you minimize that, it wouldn't be all the crap, dude. Like, yeah, the whole system's just janky as fuck.
It's
dude.
super janky, man. Super janky. People getting super rich off of it, you know.
Yeah, that's even worse.
People getting super
It's like,
rich off
you know,
that shit.
discipline is discipline, but it was like every time you disciplined your kid, you got some bread. Like your
Be
kid's
whooping some
always in
ass.
trouble and
Yeah.
shit. Like Johnny
Whooping
never
some
comes out of his room. That's right, because I get $10 a day that he's in there. Every
Yeah.
day he's in there.
That's a crazy concept, man. It's a crazy ass concept to me.
Yeah, especially when you're like, you swear you're trying to build a nation of like productive fucking people, a great nation of fucking just citizens and something to be proud of. You know, like let's make it.
Well, and a lot of it-
let's make this system so that every time you turn your head, you're breaking the law, so that we can lock your ass up. So, you
Well,
know.
most of it, I mean, statistically speaking, if you look at most of it, man, a lot of the people that are in the prison system, man, is mental health or drug issues.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's flooding it. So we need to figure out how to deal with that section of our population first, man. You know,
How
like
about we take that 800 billion we just sent to fucking Ukraine and put it into fucking mental health and probably whatever else we could crush.
maybe we don't even have to take that 800 billion. I'm sure we got some other ridiculous money
Oh yeah,
that we
the other 800 billion we spend every year on
that we
the
spend on
military.
prison type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put that money into some of these programs for these people, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mind the billions on military, man. I want to be the baddest motherfucker on the block.
Nah, that is good. But I don't know.
And I know the foreign spending too. That's that thing that pisses people off too, but I get it, man. Like we literally got to buy some people. Because if we don't
Yeah, but
buy,
there's some countries we don't
if
gotta
we
buy,
don't, if
though.
we don't buy them though, some shady motherfuckers are gonna buy them. You know,
Yeah.
and that strengthens their position when you talk about land mass on Earth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you want to control the most land mass on Earth, right? So the less influence we put into some of these little shitty guys, somebody's gonna come right in and swoop them, man. And now
Yeah.
our position is less.
Yeah, but see, I mean, I can feel that, but when you're just giving these dudes boatloads of fucking fiat currency and shit, when you got these other fucking world powers coming in with some real shit, you know, behind us, you know, I mean, it sounds nice, but it seems like one day Rome is gonna fucking start crumbling and shit, and all these little fucking countries are gonna be sitting over there with a fucking rooms full of money that don't mean shit. You're like, God damn, you guys just gave us 235 million. Like, this shit ain't worth nothing
Means
now.
nothing.
It's nothing now. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Maybe it'll never happen.
100 million ruble for a loaf of bread because dollars isn't worth shit.
Wow.
I don't know, where is a ruble from?
India.
Oh, is it?
That's India's
It's
currency.
Indian currency.
Yeah,
And they got one of the biggest economies too.
they do.
And they're over there on their team.
Oh, we're good with India.
No, we're good with them, but they talking about you doing no alliances or breaking no deals with Russia.
Damn.
Yeah, they're one of the major ones when they had that big meeting with all the countries, like China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, India. They were all like, nah, we're not putting no fucking sanctions on Russia. We got deals with them. We're doing business. India was one of those major ones.
Let them just fight with the people they have a problem
Basically.
with is the way they look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's the right answer,
Well,
man.
see, my thing is, how do you have a right answer? Because shit, as far as I know, like 90% of what we see could be all propaganda.
Oh, it absolutely
You
is,
know?
man. It absolutely is. Of course it is.
Like, so what is really going on in Ukraine? We'll never know. You know,
Absolutely.
It's all up.
It's all propaganda, man. Every side that we
Yeah.
see is part
Russia, Ukraine.
it's part of the
like,
machine, man.
Where's the fucking real reporter on the ground? You know,
Oh, that shit
even
don't
those
exist.
ones look staged as fuck.
Yep, that shit don't exist. Yep. I'm in a town outside that's getting
There's
bombed.
nobody out there and
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching this shit. I'm just like, dude, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, dude, President Zelensky or whatever his name was a fucking actor on a show, a president of Ukraine in this show for years before he became the president of Ukraine.
Okay.
So his people owned a production company. They made a whole bunch of TV shows. So it's like hell easy to make propaganda for them. You know what I mean? They fucking make TV shows. That was like in America, like we couldn't fucking make a
We did
fake
the
war
same.
situation,
I
like,
mean, shit. We had
or at least a scene
we
or
had
two.
a game show. We had a game show host that became president as well.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's a joke, man.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a fucking joke.
Yeah. Well, not even that dude. It's just the possibility of like being able to put out good propaganda.
He was able to manipulate
you
himself
know,
right on into
the seat. Like, I'm the president. Like,
Wow.
everybody thought mentally he was the dude. He's charismatic as fuck, obviously.
They
young,
loved his character
good-looking.
so much on
Yeah.
TV that they were just like, vote him on in.
Dude, they created the party that was on the show.
Wow.
Like, this and that party. And then they created it in real life. And then this dude ran as president and won. Yeah, that was
Well,
like...
and don't they say that we, had some influence in that whole election and all that? I mean, come on, man. If we know that Russia and China are influencing our elections, you can't tell me we're doing the same to make sure somebody that's favorable to our view.
Yeah, I think definitely we were, but they're still so far from like a democracy that it's still laughable that people even think that Ukraine is really even something to be defended. Because they're like, oh, we gotta defend democracy and this and that. Like, Ukraine's not a democracy. Like, how has it been a democracy? They basically put that dude into power. You know what I mean? Like, before that, it was definitely a corrupt country. He's been doing a bunch of corrupt stuff since. I mean, he just banned half of his opposition now. You know what I mean? Like half of the parliament or whatever. He basically like banned their party.
Wow.
On some kind of like, war power, like, oh, you guys could be in a compromise type scenario. I'm taking full control, like, yeah, who knows what's going on, like, fuck the people I mean, that's obviously one thing we've seen over the last couple of years. All these dudes that are empowered, just like totally flexing, you know,
For sure.
just flexing every muscle they can. I thought that was hilarious though. Fucking Ron DeSantis, fucking, you know, that chick that with that shim won the fucking swim meet.
Yeah, Leah.
Yeah.
She didn't win. She took 5th.
Did she?
She
Or
took
on
5th.
that race?
She tied for 5th place.
No, but when she won the NCAA tournament, the whole thing though, right? Yeah, she took number 1 for the whole thing, like broke records. Yeah, that last race she sloughed off at the end. You know what I mean? But I think totally she won the thing. That's why Ron DeSantis went on there and said that they were gonna
Awarded the other chick.
yeah, the second place chick,
Yeah.
because she's actually a chick. Like, that was just funny because you stand there and look at the picture of that motherfucker standing there and they're like, that's a hell of a fucking camel toe.
That ain't a camel toe. That's a goddamn moose knuckle.
Shit, 2 knuckles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
I was like, damn, you're not even like, you didn't even tuck that motherfucker or
Like,
nothing.
damn.
Like, at least do some type of like raps or like, you know, like the
Something.
dude on Buffalo Bill on Silence of the Lambs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Tuck that bitch.
Or
know
how about
what I
you
mean?
wear some of them old raver pants? Even better.
Oh shit.
Hey, man. Everybody should be who they want to be, man.
I mean, I understand that, but
However, we got certain shit in place, man.
yeah,
We got certain shit in place
yeah,
for males and females.
yeah, yeah.
I do not disagree. Like, the government and the law shouldn't be involved in anybody's
no.
relationships or nothing like that, man. That should be an agreement between two people and whoever they want to be.
Yeah, if you want to manipulate the fuck out of yourself, shit.
But come on, man.
Like,
These guys can't have like testosterone replacement or
Yeah.
anything like that because they're, now that would be considered cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like when you have somebody that comes in the game, man, like you have certain attributes that you cannot change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you go through puberty as a male. That right there changes your physique forever. It don't matter what you do after that. No matter how much fucking estrogen you take. No matter if you lop off all your parts and add parts. Your structure, your everything is the same.
I wouldn't have a problem, be who you're going to be, but nevertheless, you still have to compete over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, see, it's very strange when they get into like the real, like if you look into like the real rules, like because they'll be like with the transgenders and like say the female category, because they test the female the athletes too, and for like obviously testosterone, all that kind of stuff, and it's like the level of that they make these transgenders be in, like testosterone has to be down to a certain point, is just like to a point where a female could never be naturally. You know what I mean? So it's like they make these dudes, take this estrogen and stuff to bring their testosterone down so they can compete as a female lawfully within their sport, right? Like the Olympics, stuff like that. But then it's like they're like 3 times as much as a normal female's testosterone level. So it's like, how is that even, you know what I mean? That's not even fair if you were on all your shit and your levels were down to whatever it is that's still fucking like 3 times as much as a female, you know, a normal one. So how do you really compete as a female? You know what I mean? You can't, just like that dude, Lee Thomas, whatever. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Like you were just competing last year as a dude. You know what I mean? The very same year at Penn State or whatever.
Really?
You were competing as a man in the swimming, and you were like 400 something, right? Then the next year you're a girl, and now you're breaking records, and you're on the pedestal and shit. Now you're getting. It's like, come on now.
Man,
It's like let's let's just come on. Like I understand, like you said, people. I don't care who you are, what you want to. You want to be whatever you want to be.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, you can't be whooping on my daughter, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's been training on this swimming shit for fucking her whole life.
Right.
She done got to the stage, and then this dude fucking who was fine with a dude being a dude last year on the team and for many years before that, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm a girl and got some long hair now, and now you're over here whooping my daughter, and it took her national title, and
Yeah.
you
I
know,
know it's a big thing, man. It's definitely people are divided over that shit, man, for sure.
I think it's like Joe said, you just got to get enough of them together and they can put together their own league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'd be interesting to the motherfucker. I guarantee there'd be some good betting going on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
I mean, I guarantee it'd be there'd be motherfuckers watching that shit. The transgender league and shit. Like
TGL.
it's just all a bunch of dudes with long hair. Stiff arming each other and shit on the rugby field, or a bunch of dudes playing basketball against each other, with all of them just got long hair.
Wow. Wow.
Imagine like a bunch of Joanna mans. You know what I mean? Like,
That movie was
because
crazy.
we were talking about it the other day. Because like right now, the lowest ranked dude in the NBA, right? He ain't played in the game yet. You know what I'm saying? We could take him, put a fucking wig on him, throw him in the WNBA, and he'd be number one. He'd take the Sparks to a championship. You know.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is, like, if you want to have like those kind of like competitions where you actually want to put females against males, you know what I mean? It's like it's got to be in those kind of categories or those kind of sports where it really doesn't take like muscle or stuff like that in order to like you can be like surfing, you know, or skateboarding. You know, it just takes good balance, you know what I mean, to like really be able to do that kind of stuff. I
Right.
mean, surfing, you don't have to have like big muscles or, you know.
Yeah, but they
What?
still have categories in those sports as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I wonder if you put a male against a female in those ones. I mean, it is obvious because they do have them. And like you'll see like the top skateboard chick, like is nothing. Like you'll watch a 14-year-old kid come out and shred her.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's like, because why? There's no physical attribute that you should have to have, I feel like, in order to like be able to top a male at that, you know, because what? You gotta be able to have balance, and what else? Well, I guess muscle does come into a little bit because fatigue would kick in a lot sooner on a female. You know,
Yeah.
if you're like in the middle of a skate routine and you got to do all these like physical things, I think that could probably be it. But if you're well conditioned, I don't know why that would be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I was trying to figure it out. Like we got to have like this good fair competition that like
The level playing field.
yeah, a level playing field.
Where we're really testing athletic ability.
Yeah, yeah.
know.
Maybe like
But that's
archery.
that's part of what
or
goes into the competition.
guns, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was trying to think of like some type of competition that we could have that could be fair. You know what I mean? That we could really prove who's best.
and that's the thing. Like that's what I keep going back to. Any competition,
Yeah.
there's two separate
Well, there has to be.
categories. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
always a male and a female category, man.
Yeah. Well, like archery. You know, like or what's that one game with the fucking bags and the fucking
Cornhole.
Yeah, cornholing. You know, that just sounds funny. Cornholing.
I love that shit, man.
But hey, I like that. That
shit's
one's
so
a fun
damn
one.
fun.
But it's like that should be a level field.
yeah.
You know, beer pong. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have no advantage over any female when it comes to beer pong.
Now they still call it men's and women's mixed beer pong.
Mixed beer pong. Because I bet you there's some broads out there that are dope at beer pong.
Oh hell yeah. My wife is real good at cornhole, man.
Really?
Man, we got dialed in during the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
During the shutdown, we ordered a cornhole thing, and every night we would go out there and just play each other.
Yeah.
You know, we'd be on the grass, take the shoes off, let the fucking feet run through the grass, throw the bags, music on. It's fun, man. It's good
Yeah, that's
fun.
dope.
It's a fun game, and she's good, man. There were a lot of nights where she would beat me, so when people come over, we challenge them and shit.
Yeah, that's a good square competition. See,
It
that's what I'm
is,
talking
man.
about, like darts.
That's one of those good couple games too, man.
Yeah, but see how they were talking about that too, like pool. Pool should be one of those games, right?
Okay.
That you could like even good
Absolutely.
playing field, right?
Absolutely.
But that was one thing that they were talking about on Joe the other day. Joe was still like, that's one of those ones you figure would be like an equal playing field, right? He's like, but if you go to the tournaments of the best of the world, like females, like they'll get into the tournaments,
Yeah.
and they'll go along, but they'll never win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they make it there, but they still get weeded out early, and it's like,
Yeah.
why? You know what I mean? I wonder about those things.
I
Like,
don't
why?
know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just a level of training that's ingrained in our DNA as men, that we are, more athletic or whatever, just because that's been, an opportunity for us so much longer than it has for females.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could be like you're talking about like DNA type memory.
I'm
and
talking
stuff,
about
like,
DNA shit, man.
Yeah.
Where back in the day we were running around
Yeah.
hunting, and they
Yeah.
were at home
So just
cooking and tending
yeah,
the kids.
genetically,
It's genetically ingrained in
and
us.
not in a genetically male necessarily thing. Just but.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not because if it was flip flop the other way, and like back in the day, we decided we were gonna gather, and
Yeah.
and y'all were gonna go hunt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it would have been the other way. It would have been a bunch of fucking Amazonians walking around this bitch, like,
Could have been.
You know what I mean? And we're over here all meek and shit, like, yes, babe, dinner's ready.
Yeah.
I beat the clothes against the rock,
Well, but I mean, look at most animals,
and they can
man.
whoop us at basketball and shit.
Most wild animals, though, the female is the one going out and doing the fucking hunt.
Yeah, and they're just the ones fucking
You know
kicking
what I
ass,
mean?
though.
And we were just the being that changed the fucking mold with that shit too, man.
Yeah.
Because all the animals, especially like the carnivores and shit, you think like the female is the fucking one that's gonna go out there and get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The males do tend to just kick the fuck back
Just
when
kick
it
the
comes
fuck
to
back and reproduce
Yep,
and
and
look
kick
tough
and kick
You know what
ass.
I'm saying? Give a
Yeah.
fucking good ass growl that just fucking makes motherfuckers be like,
because you
"All right."
definitely got to kick ass is that dude. Otherwise, you end up with no fucking mates.
Absolutely.
You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
oh yeah. They
You end
they
up
get
with no
tested
mates.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
That's how they get in that position. They
Yep.
get tested, and then all the females are like, "Oh, go to him. He's gonna make me good babies."
Yep, he's the tough guy
Absolutely, man.
until he gets too old.
And I
weak.
think we still have some of that bred in us too, man.
Yeah.
When people are looking for mates and shit,
Well, that's for sure.
Absolutely, man.
It's like some shit that's like deeper than people even can think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like people want to resist like nature and biology, but sometimes it's impossible
Oh no, we can't. We can't escape that.
because we try. It's interesting to try as a modern day male. You know what I mean? Like in society where you're like supposed to be married and have this lifestyle that's like so opposite of like nature. Of like just conquering, kicking ass, and fucking everything. You know what I mean? That's like you go out there into nature. That's what the alpha males are doing. You know what I mean? They're kicking the fucking betas around and they're fucking all the bitches.
Yeah,
See all my seeds.
pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Yeah, but that's what Conqueror's been trying to do since back in the day. Like I'm the best dude, so I'm gonna fucking fuck all the bitches. And
They did it.
yep, they did.
They did it. There's no more land to fucking conquer.
So I always had this idea about that, about like who came up with monogamy. It was like some beta male ass motherfucker that was mad at that one dude that was getting all the
that was
bitches
getting
in the
all
village.
of 'em,
You know, because it's that one dick slinging motherfucker in the village.
yeah.
He's like bagging all the bitches.
Yeah.
And then there's the one dude in the corner. He's just got no pussy ever.
Yeah.
And he's mad as shit.
You heard what God said, right?
So he comes up with I found these tablets off in the forest and I deciphered them.
Yeah.
And it says that you only can have one woman.
Man,
So I
don't
get
know,
one.
Man. I don't know. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure because I mean, even the Bible talks about, you know, people in the Bible had multiple wives and multiple women. You know,
But
what
which
I mean?
Bible? Because does it change ever? Like, is it like in the Old Testament or which ones are they talking about? Because I know obviously King Solomon had a bunch of broads.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people in the Bible had a bunch of women. King
Absolutely.
David.
Yeah.
But so it's like they talk about it, but then it's like people that come out of any of those kind of sects, they tend to perspire towards like monogamy. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
yeah.
So it's interesting, you know, how that.
I'm not sure where that change happened, but it definitely I'm guessing you see the change happen in the Bible, right?
Yeah, I guess if you really
even
knew
like the
it.
10 Commandments talks about no adultery. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
That's
well,
interesting.
but maybe adultery had a different meaning. You know,
Yeah,
maybe today
yeah.
adultery means with one person. Maybe then adultery wasn't even necessarily that male female relationship.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
interesting
mean?
because there's this dude.
Maybe
that-
adultery was their like meaning for like cheating, not cheating on your spouse, but just like, you know what I mean? Something like that.
It could be who knows? Because I'm going to give you a really good example. This dude, I used to listen to his lectures a lot. His name was Dr. Michael Rice. He did a lot of translating the Bible from Aramaic directly to English.
Wow.
Skipping all the different languages. And it has a lot of different, it breaks down a lot different from that version that they've translated than it does in any kind of text that is out today.
Yeah.
And and that was one of them that they were talking about, that a lot of the words that they use in the Bible or that they translated them to didn't mean that then what they mean now today.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the specific one that he did give was virgin.
Yeah.
You know, the birth from the Virgin Mary. And I guess he was saying that in those times, a virgin woman was just a woman, and not necessarily who hadn't had sex, but hadn't had a child.
Yeah.
You know, so of course, if that was your first child, you were a virgin mother.
Absolutely.
You know, so it makes sense, and it definitely changes the story.
Totally.
You know, so yeah, you got to think about it. Like in the translations, was adultery even a word?
Right.
You know, or was it the proper word? Or did it mean that adultery? Did it mean
What
like you
we
said?
say it to mean today.
Could
Absolutely.
it mean
man.
outside of maybe your many wives? You know, something like that.
Absolutely.
Or the adultery could be maybe you sleeping with another man's wife.
Yeah.
You know, versus it just being a concubine,
Right.
or you know, like who knows? You know, like,
We don't, man. And that's part of the, you know, for me, man, you know, I grew up obviously in the church, you know what I mean? I went to a private school, Catholic even, you know. So,
yeah, definitely going to St. Viator, you definitely had. Yeah, that's interesting because like because they definitely groomed you to be a certain kind of way, to have a certain kind of thought process, and it's like, yeah, they groomed you to be like man and wife kind of deal, like.
oh, absolutely, man.
Like, yeah, if you're really good, you can be your ball, and you can be like fucking David or Solomon, and you can fucking have like 100 girls.
They never taught that. They never taught that. It was always about, you know, the one wife, you know what I mean, and being true and faithful, and you know, to the wife. That was always the message, man. Waiting until you get married. That was the big
waiting
one.
until
You
you
know
get
what I
married.
mean? And I remember we used to always say, man, we have friends that go to public school and like their counselors are giving out condoms and shit.
Here
Because
they
they
are.
realize it's going to happen. And we're over here and they're talking about wait till you get married.
Yeah, that's a hell of a sting, huh? Like, I can't wait to go to public school.
Then I got to public school and was like, what the fuck?
Did you?
It was like shell shock for me, bro.
Was it?
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Like, what was so different?
I came from a school, like my like graduating 8th grade class was probably like 40 people, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our PE class freshman year probably had like 150.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that motherfucker had mad people in it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely a big difference. It was definitely a shock. Yeah. Coming from my middle school, too, because obviously I lived in a little fucking hick ass town in Illinois where there was literally one middle school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So literally our graduating class was like that, like 40 kids.
And then you come to Vegas and
Yeah.
you go to Clark, and it's like, man,
I remember my first day walking to school.
Oh,
I'm
me
walking
too,
up to
man.
Clark,
yep,
coming down Edna and Penwood, crossing the street, and I'm walking up to the school. As I walk up to the school, there's a fight. You know what I mean? I'm like,
damn, yeah,
you know, like, damn, my first day of school.
a lot of those.
I remember I wore a Big Johnson shirt my first day of school, freshman
Yeah.
year, and they fucking pulled me in. I got in trouble my first day of school.
Remember them? Oh, I remember them shirts, man.
Big
They
Johnson.
were awesome.
Yeah. Mine was it was a basketball one.
Nice.
And it that dude had 2 basketballs and he was stuffing them in the rim. And it was like, it's hard to stuff it all in when you have a Big Johnson.
Jesus. Wow.
So I had that one at school.
Where
so,
was the supervision?
yeah.
You went to school on day one with that shit.
Yeah.
Walked to school. At
Walked
that.
to school, with the fucking Big Johnson shirt on. It was about halfway through the school because it was like, I don't know, I forget what was going on all the beginning of the day. And then it was like what do they call that when everybody gets together?
An assembly.
Yeah, there was an assembly at the end of the day, or like towards the end, half after the noon. And then when I got there, that's when I got pulled. Like, hey, come over here. And then they were like, maybe put it inside out.
Wow.
So,
That was probably the freshman assembly.
Yeah, probably
just
was
the freshman.
Yep.
It was a trip though, man, going from that small of a school, man, you know, like with the religious background and stuff like that. And then like you said, man, I mean, fights, you know, people bringing guns to school, you know what I mean? We knew some people we went to school with that got shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was real like gang life.
Yeah, that
going
was
on,
first
too.
times I like really. I mean, I had seen some real gang members when I was in Illinois because no matter how small country it is,
Yeah.
they were there.
Of course.
And there wasn't as many, but there was a few that I know for sure. But yeah, when you got to Vegas, it was definitely a lot more of that going on.
Man, it was going on.
It was a whole new world.
And you couldn't go anywhere without people hitting you up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Like we heard that every time we went. I wonder if kids go through that today.
I don't know, probably not.
Like are gangs still a thing so much right now that everywhere these kids go, it's like, where are you from? What you claim? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
It'd be interesting. I think I'm gonna have to start inquiring.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like when I'm at the shop and I'm talking to these high school kids, be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, what the hell's going on in school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, y'all still riding around trying to be gangbangers or taggers or?"
Or is that shit played out?
Oh man, I went to this place. Have you ever been to the Wheels of Misfortune?
I have.
That place is dope, dude.
I have.
just
On your
went-
way to the lake?
Yeah, I went out there probably like a month ago.
Yeah.
Took the girls out there and and I was out there taking pictures and stuff, doing a little video, and then man, that place just took me back. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, I remember when we wanted to be taggers so bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like, man, I was like, I could relive my old dream. I could bring some spray paint out here one day, and I could hit up a piece. You know
It's
what I
cool
mean?
out there, man. I like it out there.
Yeah,
We went out there in 2020, I think, when everybody was locked down.
yeah.
We went out there and did a little hike and took a look at it. And yeah, same thing, man. It took me back.
Yeah, I was looking at some cool ass graffiti.
Oh man, there's some guys that go to the arts district downtown, man.
Yeah.
You know, you want to see some cool shit. They got some cool shit down there.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
they've been doing some good stuff with that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because I remember when it used to be crap.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
wasn't
that's where Boom's got his new tattoo studios down there on Wyoming and Main Street.
nice.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there.
He's right down the street from me.
Yeah,
I'm off
right
of
there.
Wyoming.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And Wyoming's not too long right there in that area.
No, it's not.
So
It's not because it turns into motherfucking Okie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns into Okie right there.
But yeah, I
after
do
that
need to do
7-Eleven.
that. I think one night I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go down there and just like park somewhere and just fucking just take the camera and just go down there and
Man.
just see what's down there. You know, see what kind of people are down there.
Great
know?
photography opportunities,
Yeah,
man, for
yeah.
sure. We were doing some family pictures a while back, and you know we stayed in Boulder, but we were talking about next time we do them. I want to go like to where it's gritty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I love that backdrop.
Yeah.
You know,
Back
just the
alley
grittiness
type.
of the city,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, dumpster in the fucking background and shit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
just that
yeah.
city vibe. You know.
Yeah.
But you have this well polished, well dressed family. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for real.
And then you have the background, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it just speaks to it speaks to the grit, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, city people have a different grit, man.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
Vegas city people definitely got a different grit.
specifically Vegas too. Absolutely, man.
I don't know whether that's a positive thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because sometimes like Vegas, sometimes people seem to be a little like, I don't know, not as stomachy, you know, compared to other places. You know, people tend to be a little bit more like, I don't know, hardened out here. I guess that's most of the bigger cities, I guess,
Yeah.
because in LA it's the same shit, you know. Like there tend to be little pockets of LA that they do, I think, are a little bit nicer, and a little bit more pleasurable. But yeah, Vegas is one of the places that's just a lot of like people that are just like not satisfied. I think, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see a study of the happiest and saddest cities.
Yeah,
And
in
see
America,
where
yeah.
Vegas is on that for sure, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I know it's like somewhere in Sweden or somewhere. It's supposed to be like the happiest place on earth.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know, but it'd be interesting to find out, like in America, where Vegas sits on that. Because, you know, I guarantee you there's a lot of people like us, you know, that are just have good lives, you know, and we just are happy, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that just walk around, dude, that are just like, and just frustrated and just pissed off at the world. Like today I was leaving, I went to Cycle Gear to look at some fucking riding gear or whatever. And as I was leaving, I was going to get on my bike, and there's some dude out there getting on his bike, and he was just fucking cussing and slamming his fucking gloves and just fucking this motherfucking blah. Just like you just left out of the Cycle Gear, like nothing too bad could have happened to where
Yeah.
you're just like all bent out of shape about this, and you could just tell he was just like his whole world was just like in that like that looking through that fucking periscope of just fucking misery, you know, no matter what
A lot of
happens
people
that day.
a lot of people live with it, man. You know, unfortunately, I think it's a lot easier for some people to live in drama and, you know, than it is to be at peace, man.
Well, do you think maybe it could be their prescription for this life?
Could be.
You know, like how else can you get like a certain angle of an experience if you're not like, you know, in a certain kind of way mentally? Like, you know, how do you get that experience of just, you know, pure misery or just everything sucks if you're not in that mind frame? You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, to where like they literally, you know, their will could be trying to, you know, their personal will could be trying to will themselves out of this fucking shit rut that they're find themselves in their life and mentally, but it's just like they'll never
can't
really
help
come out of it because it's not their path.
That sucks, man.
Because I think about things like this sometimes, like free will, right? And say you got free will in your life to a certain extent, as far as like, you know, what you're going to wear today, what kind of food you're going to have, blah, 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 blah. But as far as like the events that unfold, like aren't going to, are I think are going to be constructed and preset so that we get a maximum amount of experience while we're here. Because think about this. This is the angle I had one day on it. It kind of had me thinking. It could have been a high moment, but it might not have been. I was sitting there and like say tomorrow's a Sunday, and I have this plan in my mind what I'm gonna do. Right? Like I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna go here. But then the world, the universe conspires in a way that like I'm not able to do what my free will wanted me to do, which was go here and do that. Right? The plan for my life was to go here.
Right.
But my free will and my thought process is like, yeah, I'm gonna go here. But then the universe is like, you're going here. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's like, because I was thinking that, like, it was like I felt like no matter what was in my mind, I couldn't get off the couch to go do what I
Set out to do.
set out it mentally I wanted to do. Like, this is my free will. I'm gonna go do this.
Right.
But the universe is like, no, you're gonna go do this, and that's what you go do. It's like, is that the moment of like where your free will is taken? Like, say you have a plan to go to somebody's birthday party, right? And that's your free will. I plan to go. I went and bought a special outfit. I fucking got the babysitter,
Right.
everything. And then at the last moment, you get a phone call from something that all that is gone, and now you're here at this other place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my free will would have taken me to the fucking party, and
Right.
we would have fucking having a great time.
Right.
But the universe took me this way to go do whatever I needed to do that on that lane.
Yeah.
You know, Bren, I mean, he might have needed me,
Right.
you know, and he wasn't in my fucking free will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would have free willed my ass right not to help his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I think that happens to a lot of people, man. A lot of people who want to do the right thing, man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the universe throws them some type of curveball to where,
To where you needed to fucking run that red light and fucking,
or whatever. Yeah.
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? To
Yeah.
cause that whole scenario
Yeah.
to present only this experience that can be had through this way at this moment.
Yeah.
You know, even though that wasn't your will. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing, you know, that people feel like with, you know, people of faith,
Yeah,
you know, with
yeah.
God, you know, God has this is all God's plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were driving drunk and you hit some kids and now you're in prison. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, that was part of God's plan because that's what you needed to get to your next fucking step.
Yeah. I think that's like, yeah. And
So
then
it's
that's,
just
that's
what
the same
you're-
thing.
It's just what your belief is. You
Yeah,
know? Is it
yeah.
the universe? Is it is it
an outside source that's making this, or is it my predestined?
or is it just all coincidence?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And we're just all ants living
I'm
on an
thinking
ant
too
farm.
far into it.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're all ants living in an ant farm, just fucking, you know what I mean? Bouncing off one another and things just happen.
Yeah, I know. God is looking down at me like, I gave you an 8-bit brain for a reason, motherfucker. Quit trying to flex that shit.
Yeah.
Look forward. You know what I mean?
I
That's
definitely
just
get put
crazy.
in my place.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
man.
I think we all do. I think it's a,
It's a good thing, man. We need it.
yeah.
You know, when you don't have that around you, man, like that's what I feel like is the downfall for a lot of these like wealthy and, you know, or famous people too, man, you know, is they don't have that, you know. You got everybody around you that your name is on the bottom of their check.
Yeah, they're all yes, sirs and shit, yes, ma'ams.
They're not willing to give you that reality check.
Like, hey, you doing too much, B.
Oh, man, you know what I mean?
But then even when you're in those kind of positions, though, I'm sure that, you know, motherfuckers try, but once your ego's boosted that much, there ain't no stopping, you know. Fuck, I'm the man. I got us here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Who the hell you telling me?
Yeah.
I mean, I put this show together.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you come in with this shit? You the help. Yeah.
Happens all the time, man. There's
shit
people out
crazy.
there like that, man. I have such a totally different strategy, man. Like
Do you?
I just value the people around me, man. Like
Yeah.
I know that if I'm the smartest motherfucker in the operation, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I need smart people
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
And that don't make me feel inferior at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Nah, because like shit, it to me, it's a benefit to be able to look to somebody next to you and gain something, some
Absolutely.
insight. You know?
I think that's probably been one of my best moves, really, is realizing that I'm not that, smartest guy. So
Yeah.
you got to put people around you that can give you insight on things. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was always curious about financial stuff, and I didn't know anything about it, man. We don't learn it in school. I wasn't taught it by my parents, They didn't know nothing about finances and stuff, So I realized that my best move would probably be to get somebody in my circle that was what they fucking know. You know what I mean? And now I can ask them questions. Hey, how does this work? How does that work? And it's opened up so many opportunities for me, man, because I didn't have that ego like, oh, man, this motherfucker's way smarter than me. I can't let him outshine me,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to strip all that, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely don't have no problem doing that. Like, that's definitely a great angle that I've always found is like, having somebody around you with a personal experience, to pick their brain, figure out what worked for them, what didn't work for them, help kind of catapult yourself, or
Absolutely.
leapfrog yourself up over, a lot more hurdles a lot faster.
Yep.
Because getting somebody else's failures and positives.
Now you just got to be, now all you got to be smart enough to do is to learn from other people's failures.
Yeah.
Because that's the big thing too, man, is a lot of us have to just go through it on our own. Even though we might have had people giving us the warning signs and telling us this or that, and we still got to go through it. So yeah, have those people around, but also be willing to take that advice instead of have to go through it yourself.
Well, that's a great thing. That just reminded me of something when I was listening to Mr. Beast on Joe, and he was talking about that is when he became obsessed with YouTube. He's like, I'm a dork at home. I don't have any friends. So the friends that I did create were also dudes off on the internet that were obsessed with YouTube. So he said he had a core group of friends. It was like 5 of them. And that's all they did for years was obsess over YouTube and just like try different shit. But he said, now we got, instead of just me, now I got, 4 more people in my circle who are all attacking YouTube, we're all trying different shit. We're all communicating. So now instead of me being able to do so many things per month, finding out what works and what doesn't work, now we got 5 of us trying this many things per month. So now we just, multiplied how much more work we can get done as far as like finding out what works and what doesn't work. That it moved us along so quickly that now we run the game when it comes to YouTube.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we had 5 minds attacking it versus just my one mind. Like you said, it pays to have these people around you that
Yes, it does, man.
And you're listening though.
You're listening. Absolutely. That's the key. You got to be willing to listen.
Your stats don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you say?
you
Man,
get
you a
plenty.
young motherfucker. You don't know shit. I've been in this game longer than you.
Yeah.
They might have a great idea. Like the youngsters that have come to the shop in the last year or so, man, they've all like kind of pushed me up and along, make you, re-strategize, on certain things, kind of push your game up a little bit, get you really thinking about other stuff, like pull in other information that's new in the game that they're just now learning because they're, just getting in the game. So they're all into it, all investigating every angle and, the new clippers. And, that used to be me when I was first in it. But after a while, you just get into that rhythm of this works.
Yes, you do.
And this is the equipment that works and we're going. But it's like these guys are coming with the new information, with the new technologies, with all this stuff. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take some of that. And then we're
And
gonna
you got to
bring it all in.
You got to, man. Self-employed or business or all that. Like that whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like that does not exist, bro.
Yeah.
If you have that mentality, you're gonna get left in the dust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the next motherfucker is trying to poke holes in whatever you're doing.
Well, just the thing. This is the age we're in. Is if it's not broke, don't fix it. Doesn't work at all if you think about it, because the shit changes every day. So guess what?
Yeah.
If you don't fix it, it's gonna break.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
guess what? 2020 algorithms don't work in 2022, brother.
No, they don't. No, they
And that's
don't.
true. You know what I mean? And I've
absolutely.
been beating the bush on this YouTube thing, trying to figure out these fucking algorithms and shit, and listening to motherfuckers like and their strategies, and trying their strategies and trying opposite their strategies to see what works and what don't work. And these motherfuckers be on some shit. You know, but it's constantly changing, like you said, you know, and that's with everything, you know, with your business, you know, from your floor to the roof to the shaking out the trash, you know, the shit's changing.
Everything.
know?
And it might not even be procedures per se like that, you know. It might be, maybe it's other stuff like strategies on how to retain employees. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always something that has to be fixed. You know, what's next on the infrastructure? Oh man, I need a good inventory system that tells me just by looking at an app what's in my warehouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when the employees go on a job, they take stuff and they scan it out. So now I get an updated version, and I'm able to really see how much of everything each crew uses when they're on a job, and you know, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always, you know, it's just like with us in life in general, man, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah. Like I said, in these day and age, if you don't fix it, it's going to break.
Absolutely, man.
Because that shit is continually every day. And it's amazing, too, like just in barbering, you figure that the technology would be what it is, you know? But now with the cordless game, I'm watching it slowly improve, and that's cool too, because like, when the first cordless clippers first start coming out,
garbage.
Oh man, they're fucking loud and annoying, and the
They
battery don't last
very close. And
now, there was a couple that I had that actually didn't cut bad, but they were just loud and obnoxious. Yeah, and they're getting quieter and quieter as long as and the batteries are getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's all those things that are like slowly improving over the years. It's like, okay, but then you just got to continually move with it. You know what I mean? Like,
you do, man.
continually,
You do, or you get left in the dust.
yeah.
Man. That's commerce. No matter what business you're in, man. Cutting hair, washing cars, cleaning buildings, being a fucking lawyer, whatever it is, man. You better fucking stay sharp.
Yeah.
And you better be looking to whatever you can do to make it better, or you're going to get passed up.
Yeah, and it's just the crazy thing. It's like in any game that you can be in, it can be an expensive game.
Yeah.
Just because, especially when you're dealing in technologies, because next year that technology's old.
Obsolete.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
like, even if you're into like, you know, audio equipment or cameras or like you say, cleaning equipment or clippers,
Yeah.
it's like the next year, it's like the new version's out, you know, and it's like, well, it's got the new extra thing. And it's like, so you find yourself in this repetitive, like, I got this warehouse full of fucking equipment. You know what I mean? Half of it's obsolete now.
Absolutely, man.
Fuck.
I've got quite a few things that are in the back of the garage that's like, God damn. Can I just list it for sale? Hell no, because that's like 5 models ago.
Yeah.
So what do? You just keep it around, man.
Just in case you may need it one
Just in
day if
case
all
you
the
may
good
need
shit
it.
breaks.
Yeah.
And, we got to go back to old Bessie.
Yep.
She does a good job on the floor still.
I literally have a machine that I have still from the fucking day I started, man.
Do you?
When I bought that franchise, there was like a list of equipment that you had to purchase, right? In order to be like in compliance with your franchise. And there's this one floor machine, man, that still works to this day.
What is it?
Just like a floor,
Like a scrubber or whatever.
Scrubber buffer type deal, you know?
Fuck.
Made in America.
Yeah.
None of the crew likes to use it because that motherfucker's heavy as shit.
Is it?
And just
compared to the rest?
Now the new machines are light than a motherfucker, but you get 2 years out of them.
Oh, and then they're done, huh?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like that old motherfucker just goes.
That old
and
motherfucker just goes,
and
man.
goes.
We had it on jobs before where there were 2 shifts on a job, just doing a floor. It was
Damn.
that big of a job.
And it
that
was just
sheen,
going and going
16
and going.
hours a day, that motherfucker was running for like
Yeah,
months.
I remember that. I think I remember which one you're talking about. We used to scrub the floor down at the deli with that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. Started as a side thing, man.
Yeah,
I knew
that
I
was
gonna-
that was the thing. You know what I mean? Like, as far as everybody I know, because obviously we know a lot of people. It's like you definitely got the rags to riches, story out of everybody I know. You know what I mean? That's dope. Like, especially like being here the whole time watching it. Especially knowing us since we were kids. Watching the whole story just unfold, watching you kind of go down into the dumps and then slowly just like work your way out of it. And like I said, it wasn't like one of those things where you decided to start a business when I had this cash, a fucking dough saved up, and I'm gonna start with this new van and all this new equipment and shit. You were just like, dude, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna get the base shit. I have this
$3,000
busted ass van.
Yeah, I still know. I still know to this day, bro. Literally, I started the business with $3,000
Nice.
that I had saved up. That was like the entry level franchise down payment, and then you can make a monthly payments. And I was like, man, let's do it, man.
Yeah, that's big
You know?
cojones.
If I can just pull like a couple jobs a month on the weekends, man, that'll be good to supplement my income. I'm about to be a dad,
Yeah.
and then I got another client, and then another, and then another, and by it was close to like my second year in, man, I was getting more, and it was starting to conflict with my work schedule because I still had a full-time job.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like it was starting to conflict with that, and it was one of those things where it was like, man, I need to see if this is going to work. I need to just get out and do it on my own. I'm in my 20s. If it fails, I'm still young enough I can figure some shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just went off on my own, man. I was doing the work myself, and then hired a guy, and then 2 guys, 5 guys, 10 guys. Now we've got parts of the year where we're in our busiest season where we're at, close to 50 people.
Nice.
So
Nice.
but we got work to do, man. There's always work to do.
Yeah.
There's things that need to be better. I want to make this business a sellable business. When I'm done with this, I want to be able to go to somebody and say, here's this company. So I got a lot of shit that I got to achieve in order to make it that business, you know?
Yeah.
Ways to bring in clients, ways to close the deals with them, an operations department that runs the job once you get the clients, the follow-up, all that stuff.
So you're talking about like going just to the next step so that it's not like because right now basically you're the man of all. You cover all those bases. So if somebody was to buy your business, they would be missing all these pieces, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about, like bringing in all these pieces so that
Right.
it can be like a complete set that I sell somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, the ideal buyer would have to be somebody like me. Somebody that would be willing to put in the hours that I
willing
put
to
in,
do the
right?
books and
all that stuff, man. But by putting those systems in place, now you really open it up to investors as well.
Yeah.
Somebody that wants to buy a business, but they don't want to be shaking hands with a fucking cleaning client or dealing with the employee. They're a fucking investor. They bought the business, and that business already has a manager running it, a sales team closing deals, an operations team running the jobs. They can buy the business and just collect and just start collecting their share of the profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what really getting to that business. There's a book. It's called the Cash Flow Quadrants, and that's what they talk about. They talk about the 4 cash flow quadrants. And it's E, S, B, I. Those are the 4 quadrants, and the E is for employed or employee. This is somebody who makes their money exchanging their time for money. You have a job. Then the S is for self-employed. This is somebody who has a skill, so they sell their skill for money.
All right.
HVAC, polishing floors, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
B is business. This is where the business makes the money. No matter what they're doing, they might take their family on a vacation for a month, but all the systems are in place to where that business is still making the same thing.
All right.
You know, or the I, which is an investor, that's the people who are using their money to make money.
All right.
You know, and those are the 4 different quadrants. Me right now, even where I'm at, I'm still in the S, which is the self-employed.
Yeah.
Because if I left for a month on
shit
vacation
would
with my
fall
family,
apart.
some shit would fall apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm in a mission right now to cross over and build this to that true B, which is that business where it can run itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the right people are in place running
Yeah.
that business.
Yeah.
You know? Perfect example, man. You think of Lee's Discount Liquor.
Yeah.
The father passed away, man, like unexpectedly. The face of the business, you know? His son, 2, maybe 3 months later, driving an order out to one of their stores in Laughlin, crashes his car, dude. That's the 2 faces of that. But they had so much infrastructure. It's not like Lee's Discount Liquor is going to crumble.
Yeah.
You know, that's a business, bro,
Yeah.
that still runs. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're missed, obviously.
Yeah.
All the work they did in town, all the charity, all that, they're missed. But the point is, they put the systems in place to where that business could operate whether they were there or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where you really want to try to get it, especially if you want to position yourself for a sale.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because somebody who's looking, that has that much money, that's looking to buy something, doesn't necessarily. They don't want to work.
They don't want to work it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I might be able to find somebody. Maybe I have an employee that
Yeah.
as I'm approaching the end, I can say to them, hey, I got 7 years left. I'm going to groom you for these next 7 years and help you get a loan from the bank to buy me the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just know that it is 18 hours a day,
Yeah.
you know? So we want to try to put those systems in place. And it just gets back to like what we were talking about. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because from the outside, people might look at me and say, man, this dude's got a successful life. He's da-da-da-da. But there's always shit that can be better
Yeah.
and can be worked on
Yeah.
and improved. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
There's always an app that can be developed to help fucking smooth some of these fucking
Absolutely,
corners
man.
out, you know?
Absolutely, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, shit, B. We're doing 2 hours and 20 minutes right now,
Oh,
man.
man.
We'll wrap up this little part of the session.
Yeah, man.
So I'm sure we could have some other type of session.
Absolutely.
But B, man, I'm finally glad you fucking came out.
Me too,
You know, even
man.
though it's
Me
fucking
too.
session 12, you're supposed to be session
God.
1.
Damn.
You know what I mean? But that's what happens when you're fucking busy B.
Nah, but
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but- yeah.
Like
but-
that's what we got to deal with. And like I said before, I'm just, nobody. So,
Nah,
like I
you're-
said, I don't
You're,
plan on.
you're everybody, brother.
I didn't take offense to it, you know what I mean? Because I'm just
Well, I
some dude
appreciate
that's
it.
just trying to have fun. You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it,
Like
man.
you're on some serious shit, so it's like we can put these things aside.
I
for a
like to
little
have
bit.
fun too, man.
Plus,
I like to have fun too.
I'm one of those guys who thinks like the universe will put us in the right place when we need to be. So
Yeah.
episode 12 is what it was. It
Absolutely,
was supposed
man.
to be.
Absolutely.
You know, gave me a little bit more time to like get a little bit more into the flow.
Yeah.
You know, versus being episode 1 when I don't know, had
Yeah.
all those fucking follies episode 1. Nah,
Yeah.
we run it through one good time and that's it. You know, we
Yeah.
get the product,
I've seen the improvement, that's for sure, man. Yeah,
Well-
thanks for having me, man. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody once again where we could reach you at, man. We're
Yeah,
at-
Busy Bee, man. Call us 702-330-1300, busybnv.com. You can go online if you need any of the services, medical facilities, large commercial buildings. That's right up our alley. We'd love to help you out.
That's what's up. And you know who I am, fucking Seth Fades in the house. Check out the Ride channel, Ride Can Hardly ADV on YouTube. That's really where I'm pushing towards because that's really what I love to do is just ride
That's what's up,
fucking
man.
bikes and adventure. So yeah,
Yeah.
B, appreciate you motherfucking coming out,
All right,
brother.
brother.
Much motherfucking love. I
Much
know you're
love,
gonna be
brother.
back soon. So,
Oh, absolutely.
You know, next time we gonna take a caller if we don't have another one person
Let's-
present.
Let's do it, man. Let's
Get
do
another
it.
one of the homies in here to talk a little shit. You know,
Let's do
maybe
it.
we won't be so serious next time. You know,
Yeah.
because this one was more of an introduction. You know,
Yeah.
we gotta let everybody know about Busy Bee and what you're doing. You know, and,
Nice. I appreciate that,
and,
man.
and where you came from. Because, you know, once we get in the room with somebody else, it's going
Yeah.
to be a lot of fucking just shit talking and riffing. And it ain't going
Well,
to
let's
be much.
do it.
you
Let's
know,
do it. Let's do
talking
the round
about
table,
fucking
man. Let's do the
Busy
round
Bee
table.
and what kind of business you're doing. And they're going to be like,
Yeah.
man, well, tell us that old story about back in the day when y'all were throwing fucking eggs in the pool's neighbor and just totally missed the pool. So they knew exactly who was throwing eggs. So the police show up at your fucking door and shit. You guys shit threw human feces in their pool. Like,
Wow.
how the fuck did they know it was human?
Damn. That's fucked up.
Anyway,
That's
let's
fucked
get
up.
out of here,
All right,
B.
man. All right, brother. Love you,
Peace.
brother.